Is this on? Hello? Ah, hello. Hi, everyone. How's everyone doing? Okay, let's get a real how's everyone doing now. How's everyone doing? Yay, great. And we're bringing up the other rooms on the confidence monitors here so we can see you too, so you're not hidden, and hopefully you can see us in that room. Great, so thank you so much for being here. We're really excited to have you. We have some really, really sick content for you today, very cool stuff. Great lab made by one of our employees, Christina. She's my manager, so it's wonderful. And a few things before we get into the nitty-gritty. Here we go, agenda. So we just did that first part, registration and networking. Then we're gonna do a kickoff with like a keynote, right? Getting some lay of the land. And then we'll have more of a presentation about the lab itself and what we're gonna do, the architecture, things like that. Don't worry about taking any pictures or anything like that, unless you want to, of course, but we will send you the slides in an email after the event, so you'll have the slides. And this lab is public, so you'll have access to this lab as long as it exists, okay? So after we do the presentation, we'll start with the lab, and we'll do a good amount of steps. I know it says there's a break here, but to be honest with you, this lab is long and wonderful. So take breaks when you need to take them, because we might not have a real break. We do have some spans of deployment time, so sometimes you'll be waiting 2 minutes, 5 minutes. At the end, there's like a 10-minute one sometimes. So just take a break when you need it, because this real break might not happen. And at some point, I'm sorry, I'm not sure what exact time, some more snacks will come out, and the coffee is going to be refilled all the time. So, you know, we're all adults here. Just take a break when you need it. Then we'll do the rest of the lab until about 4:45, 5 o'clock, maybe 5:10, because it's a long lab and it's wonderful. And then at the end, we'll have some closing remarks and a quiz, a wonderful quiz where you can win prizes. Everybody loves swag, right? We love swag. I love swag. So we'll have a quiz, so make sure you're paying attention, listening, reading the instructions, and that'll be really fun. And then after the quiz, we'll head over into the open area and we'll have some networking time. All of the rooms will come together and we'll eat, drink, and be merry together. Okay, so I think that's everything. Yes. Okay, so first off, we have our keynote. We have Megan O'Keefe, who's a senior staff developer advocate on our team. They are wonderful, and I think they recently got a promotion, right? Or like more responsibility? Yeah, killing it. So we're so lucky to have them here. So please welcome Megan.
Hi, everyone. So happy to be here today. How are we feeling on this Thursday afternoon? It's hot, summer. All right, cool. Well, hopefully this will provide just a bit of sort of level setting into the sort of deep dive lab you're about to embark on. If some of this is review, apologies. Hopefully this is designed to kind of help give an intro into AI agents no matter what skill level you're coming in at today. So the kind of goal of this intro is all about the sort of new paradigm that AI agents bring into software. So raise your hand if you were coding, I don't know, more than 5 years ago. Yeah. And raise your hand if you're new to coding. Yeah, awesome. It's all great. I think that if you've been around in kind of the software world for, pre-2020, some of this feels a little jarring, and so this is hopefully designed to help you kind of get acclimated. Okay, so just a bit about me. So I was a software engineer at one point. I joined Google DevRel about 7 years ago. I've worked on Kubernetes. I've worked on infrastructure, app development, things like that. I spent about 3 years doing industry compete. And so, I'm mostly now focused on AI and AI agents, especially helping Google Cloud customers who are new to AI adopt it. Okay, so we're going to start today with an analogy. So raise your hand if you have a pretty decent sized commute to get to work here in NYC. Yeah, a lot of us do. So imagine you live in Brooklyn Heights and you work out of this building here, St. John's Terminal. Imagine that there's a lot of ways to get to work, because there are. You could take the subway, the bus, you could bike, you could walk. And let's say that you want to build some kind of app that can help you on any given morning decide what's the best way to get here, to get to work. Now, in the sort of Gen AI world, you would build a traditional application to do this, right? So you would say, okay, I want to take a bunch of real-time information and make a sort of deterministic decision about how to get to work today. So you might want to say, okay, what's the weather? If it's too cold, no biking, no walking. You might want to ask, what's the traffic level? Because that could impact bus time. You might want to get transit alerts from the MTA, like, is the F train down? Don't take the subway. And then when does my first meeting start? Even if I should walk to work, do I have enough time? And you would end up with a traditional app. Nothing wrong with this. These kinds of systems have many advantages, actually. But the challenge of it, right, is that you end up with a pretty rigid and rather brittle system, right? You're building client integrations into APIs that could change. You might not necessarily think of all of the edge cases. If we come back here, let's say, like, I have a knee issue. In my case, I have like a neck issue, but imagine you have some kind of issue that impedes your ability to walk to work every single day. Your system might not be able to account for those types of user preferences once you get to like a certain number of users. So these kinds of apps can be a maze, especially if you want to lean into things like personalization. So this is kind of a cue up to where AI agents could play a role. What if you instead had a system where you could ask that question and end up with a really nuanced, natural language, flexible response to your question based on today's weather, based on when your first meeting is? I suggest taking the subway. So that's just one example, right, of what an AI agent is. But how do we define them, right? So an AI agent, it's an application that uses AI models to not only do the input-output. We all have used like LLMs like Gemini or others, right, to do input and output. It goes beyond that, to use AI models to reason through a software system's logic, to either augment or replace some of the stuff you might be hard coding in. And then it can act independently to achieve a goal. So if the goal is, how should I get to work today? The AI agent can use a model along with a set of tools or APIs to find its way to an outcome, right? You're not hard coding the outcome. The AI agent is finding its way. Okay, so how do these systems work? So here we have in yellow our AI agent. AI agents have a lot of parts. In the lab today, you'll be working with two really key things that I want to cover here. The first is the system prompt. So raise your hand if you have experience just doing kind of RAG or chatbots and writing a system prompt. Yeah, like the Gemini API has one of these. You are a helpful chatbot that is an expert in pizza delivery, right? And then we have state and memory. Now these are really key. Now, state refers to the sort of memory that the agent builds as it's conversing with you in maybe a specific session. So the back and forth, the agent might come back and say, well, I think you should walk today. And then you're like, well, I don't know if I'm feeling up to walking. Okay, I'm going to go back. And it's keeping track of that in state. Memory in an AI agent goes a step further, and it can actually store interactions across different sessions to help you personalize the outcome. So let's say in this case, it remembers that, let's say you decline to walk a couple of times in a row. It might skip that as the first suggestion in future interactions. Now, the second part of the AI agent is the model. An AI agent can use one or more models to reason and generate output. And so, we won't get too much into detail in this now, but there are lots of different trade-offs in what type of model you might choose for your agent. And this is where multiple agents can come in handy. Thinking in reasoning models like Gemini 2.5 Pro or Flash can be really great for those intermediate steps. There's also lots of trade-offs around things like cost and different types of support, but know that you can have one or more of these. And then lastly, you can have one or more tools. So if we remember our sort of traditional deterministic commute agent application, all those tools can still apply. We can pull them into our agent and use kind of consistent interfaces, which we'll get into in a second, to talk to these tools, to make those interactions a little bit more flexible and less brittle, let's say, if those APIs change. And then the key thing here is that the agent decides when and how to invoke those tools. So for example, let's say in your original application, you're always checking what the weather is. Maybe your agent decides, I don't need the weather, I've made my choice. It doesn't have to make that call. That can have a lot of benefits as well, cost and latency and others. And then down here on the bottom left, you can see agent runtime. An agent, the key thing here, an agent is just another application. It's got some special features, and we're going to be dealing with some of the interesting intricacies today, but it's an application that needs to get deployed at some point. Raise your hand if you've deployed an application to Google Cloud before. Yeah, okay, me too. It's just like that, right? These things can be deployed to different places. So yeah, pulling it all together, that's our agent, right? And you can see the model kind of reasoning. Okay, I think a subway might be a good idea. Can you invoke this tool? And you come back with a final response. So let's walk through some of the benefits of AI agents, right? To kind of recap some of this. An AI agent is flexible, so it can reason in sort of a nuanced way, in a way that maybe a traditional sort of decision tree type of application or a deterministic app couldn't. It can anticipate things that maybe you wouldn't in the initial software development process, and it can respond in natural language because it's using an AI model under the hood. And the key thing here, right, is that AI agents are outcome driven. So we're about to be doing a lot of stuff with like social media planning and event planning. So once you get to your desired outcome, that's success. It's not necessarily did you call A, B, C, D, and E. Agents can be easier to prototype. I probably should have said easier and not easy. It's not always easy. I'll be the first to say that. I struggled this morning with my own application. But it can be reduced dev time, right? Because we'll talk about MCP in a second. Let's say that the MTA has a nice MCP server, like get alerts. The MTA changes their API under the hood. You don't have to worry about that because the MCP server simply exposes like a list alerts tool that you can call. And then lastly, agents can be proactive. So these are tools that can be run in response to a prompt, like we just showed with the commute agent, or they can run autonomously. They can run in response to a time trigger. They could be triggered based on some type of ambient state. Let's say you run an agent that runs on a factory floor. It can detect this machine's in an error state. I'm going to invoke this agent and trigger a maintenance workflow, right? And so there are a lot of cases where agents can be a really good fit where you already had an application before. So like, let's say that you build like a study app that can help people review, and do flashcards. You could have an agent that is kind of learning from their performance and kind of past tries and learning maybe from their performance on exams and help personalize that and make it more conversational. Customer refunds. This is an app I was actually building this morning. Anywhere where there was a human in the loop before, and you might ask, okay, could I instead implement an agent that could get things done faster, increase customer satisfaction, don't leave people hanging? And yeah, dealing with lots of real-time data sources, lots of different APIs, databases, tools. These are all cases where agents can be a good fit. But I want to say, just so we all in this room and in the other 3+ rooms, no, you do not always need to build an agent. You might be hearing a lot of buzz, a lot of, yes, go ahead and give agents a try. All that can be true, and there are lots of AI, non-AI, traditional AI cases where what you have might be enough. And so I have 3 examples here. The first is just leveraging long context. So if you're doing pure generation, something like marketing copy, and you have a really great long prompt with sort of brand tailored guidance and examples, you might be just fine just with an LLM call, right? The other example is RAG. So retrieval augmented generation, raise your hand if you've kind of built a RAG application. Yeah, so this is where you pre-retrieve and then you call the model with retrieved context. This can be part of an agent workflow. It can also stand on its own. Let's say you have a simple Q&A. You don't always need an autonomous agent. You can just do a pre-retrieve and an LLM call it a day. You don't need a model necessarily to reason through that. And the last thing I want to highlight is that whether it's traditional AI or no AI at all, your use case will really inform whether you need an agent. So in this example here, a really heavily regulated industry like financial transaction data, where you have a classifier that you've already built and trained and tested, this might be a fine approach for now. So tread carefully. We're going to get into some of the real challenges when building agents. You're about to experience some of it. That's really good and that's okay. Know that, here be dragons in some cases. And here's just a couple of the examples, right? So predictability, right? So you can't necessarily control how an agent reasons to its outcome. That's the pro. It can also be a con. It can be hard to reason about, wait, how did it get there, right? And luckily we have some nice tools and frameworks that can help us. The second is stability. Raise your hand if you've been affected by some breaking change in an AI tool in your code. Yeah, raise your hand. If you've tried to work with a tool or API. Yeah, we've got a lot of Googlers saying yes. This space is just evolving super rapidly. So when it comes to sort of stable production apps, this is something that we're all dealing with, right? And lastly, operations. An AI agent can be a pretty heavily distributed system. You throw more AI agents into the mix, you've got a compounding problem. And so logging, tracing, monitoring, all this stuff becomes even more important than before. It was already really important. And so just a quick couple of points here on how to mitigate, right? I brought up Gemini 2.5 and other reasoning models. These can be a great fit for your agent. Grounding when you can, encouraging your agent to think step by step so that you at least have some type of log and on top of kind of the tracing that you're getting of, okay, how did it get to that outcome? Really leveraging state management and memory, especially to recover from things like interrupts, and testing and evaluation. We'll cover some of this in the lab, but evaluating agents is super important because it effectively allows you to test, okay, I expected you to take some version of steps A, B, and C to get to D. Evaluation can help you. And so being able to test some of those eval cases before you deploy your agent is super important. And then stability, so using abstraction. So the model context protocol, we'll go into some more detail in just a second, but this is a really helpful abstraction on top of tools that can help you manage your agent's call to things like APIs and databases. This can really help you kind of build a stable interface there. Being detailed with your system prompt. Don't be afraid to tell it what tools it has at its disposal and when it should use each one. Use state management, use error handling. You know, a lot of these themes really just are software development themes, really manage your errors well and be able to recover, be resilient. So hopefully some of like your kind of existing notions about building software can really apply here. Yeah, that's stability. And then lastly, logging, testing, evaluation, all of that's super important. We'll cover some of the tracing features in the Agent Development Kit or ADK today. I find this super exciting, especially if you have a lot of tools. You can see, it called tool 1, then tool 3, and then it came back in. You can see how long each call took to help you figure out, like, wow, that took 10 seconds. Why did that take 10 seconds? So that's a nice segue into the Agent Development Kit. So Google built the Agent Development Kit as an open source framework that can help you easily build and test and deploy AI agents. And this is a framework that we'll be using today. As of this May, actually, it supports both Python and Java, which is super exciting. Today we'll be using Python. And this is a tool that can really help you address kind of all parts of the stack of building an agent, from managing the state and memory that we talked about and the system prompt, to the tool calls, to the observability. It's a really exciting framework, and I'm excited for y'all to try it. If you haven't up until today, that's awesome. Okay, so the last piece here I want to go into, because it kind of applies to the lab a bit, is multi-agent systems. So imagine with my commute app, right? I build it out, maybe 10 of my friends in New York City are using it, we all really like it, but we have some friends outside of New York City that want the same kind of app for themselves. Let's say in like Washington, DC, they want the ability for it to check like the DC metro and the alerts there. If we start throwing in more logic into our AI agent, we effectively have what becomes kind of an unwieldy monolith. It's a big application that kind of has all types of sort of code in it. Not all of it gets used. And this is where kind of decomposing can be really helpful. And this is what we're about to dive into with our lab, which is that we have many agents working together. So imagine I decouple my commute agent app into a weather agent, a transit agent that can work with multiple cities, not just New York, a personalization agent that remembers my responses. Maybe it remembers whether I have access to a bike or not in the city where I live. And then you have an orchestration agent that's kind of managing all of the fun between them. The benefit of this is you effectively end up with kind of a distributed architecture. You have a system of experts that each have their own system prompt, their own model choice, their own set of tools. They can live in separate code bases, be tested separately. Let's say you want to co-maintain the transit app with your friend and use it downstream in your multi-agent. And what you'll hopefully end up with is a better end user experience, higher quality responses, because each agent kind of manages its own brain. And you also have a modular architecture. It can be easier to scale, test, and reuse. The other framework that we'll be covering today is A2A. This is agent to agent. It's a framework, an open protocol rather, that was designed by Google to help you manage the negotiation and collaboration and discovery across multiple agents. So let's say you have agent 1 built with ADK, agent 2 built with ADK, and you use A2A to help them talk to each other. And that's what we'll be doing today. So just to wrap up here, there's a lot of ways to build agents on Google Cloud, and Google Cloud is obviously not the only player in town. We also have multiple open frameworks in the mix, and that's super exciting. So just to recap here, what you see here in kind of the yellow rectangle, it's ADK and A2A. On top of that, if you want to deploy your agent to Google Cloud, there's lots of ways to do that, from Agent Engine to Cloud Run and others. There's lots of ways to call different models, whether it's an AI Studio, Vertex AI, through the Model Garden to open models, and lots of ways to call tools, whether it's your own APIs, whether it's a third-party SaaS service, whether it's a Google tool like Google Maps, whether it's a Google Cloud database like Spanner, which we're about to use. And then on top of that, Google Cloud provides a ton of different operational tools, whether it's security, things like IAM, Security Command Center, observability, cloud monitoring, cloud tracing. We'll be using some of this today, but not all. So I'd really encourage you to explore, give things a try. You might be working with your own preferences, your own architectures, and just get building, give us feedback, and let us know what you think. So just to recap, agents are kind of a move from path-driven to outcome-driven software engineering, and it's super exciting. It also brings some challenges around predictability, operations, stability, breaking changes, and so hopefully today will help illuminate what some of those challenges are and how to get past them, as well as some of the real power that agents can provide in a software system. And so with that, I'll hand it back, and we'll get going on the lab intro.
Thank you, Megan. Right, before we let them go, do we have any questions for Megan? No? All right, so let's get started. Well, not so fast. I know, why do I always get this role of between you and the actual workshop? This is not so fun, but you know what? That's okay. So how many of you who's already been working on the AI, LM stuff already? All right, so I think you probably recognize this, right? Or you kind of come in the kind of middle where, in the beginning of the time when we have LLMs, we have like the vendor provided APIs, right? So we have to use them, and it's good. But then we have too many vendors now, so now we want to have like a unified way of calling these vendors. So now we have something called LangChain that unifies the way of how people can communicate with the LLMs. That's kind of what we have LangChain, right? So those are, and then we have tools, right? The tools that Megan was just talking about, and then we need to orchestrate them. So now we have LangGraph, but now we have ADK, which is more like, okay, if we have multiple agents, what are we going to do, right? So this is just different types of abstractions to just let you know what's going on. And I think Megan has set a really good background of what agent is. So you know what an agent needs to have, right? So this is kind of like what the agent needs to have, like the models, the access to different tools, and then different agents. So, I think you need to memorize this if you want to build agents. The reason behind it is because if you look at the code itself, right? This is what an ADK code looks like. It's very simple. It's mostly declarations. You're declaring which model do I want to connect to. You're declaring, what is this specific agent is doing. You're declaring what tools it has access to, right? So once you know what the basics are, the basic components of an agent, then you would know how to use ADK. And I think in the world of everyone's vibe coding, nobody actually writes code right now. It's better to actually understand the concept so you can debug rather than just writing the code itself, right? So just remember that so this is, if you're writing an agent, this is what you're gonna do. And this is why what I really like about ADK, because in order to get this agent specified and start running, this is all you have to do. This is a very high level of abstractions that gets you so you can actually have the agent running right away, right? But this is just declarations, right? So I don't know if you remember what Megan was talking. There's something it's called runtime. So what is a runtime? So think about a base agent. This is an agent, right? So it's a robot that you built. You kind of plug in specifying what specs this robot needs. But in order to get this robot running, what does it need? Well, it needs power. It needs a place to store its memory, right? Because we know that agent needs memory, right? So a runner, think about it as it's a station where it powers up your robot, your agents, so it can start working. So this is a runner. So what the runner looks like is very simple. So in ADK, what you have to do is just specify the runner, And then you can define which agent do I want to have. So look at on the top, there's agent equals root agent. So it defines which agent do I want to power up. So this is what ATK is, right? So in order to get this agent running, all you have to do is just make sure you specify the specific runner, and then your agent will power up. And then also, in one single runner, you don't just have one single agent. You can have multiple agents on top of that. So what you can have, is you can have multiple agents. So they're called sub-agents. So you can have multiple agents get powered by this platform right here, the runner platform, so they get to run it. So that's kind of what the runner is. So remember the components in ATK. The agents, and then you've got your runner, and then you can get your agent start running. But what's the next important thing? The memories, right? And I don't know about you, but for me, I have long-term and short-term memories, and I have very bad long-term memories. My short-term memory is okay, probably like an hour, and I forgot who people are, but that's my short-term memory. So similar to that, agent also have memories, right? And there's way we can classify different memories, right? So for every single time when you communicate to an agent, it will start off something called session. I remember the old days when we have web server. Who remembers application web servers, right? So when every single time when we talk to a new web server, we create something called web session, right? So this is a session, similar stuff. So you have a session, you create that thing, right? And then when every single time when you're trying to interact with this agent, the memory will memorize all the interactions. And then these are going to be put in the short-term memories. So when the user starts having that conversation with an agent, the agent is gonna say that back, and then it's gonna put whatever the user says, and then put that in the short-term memory. And these are classified as events, right? So when you continue to work with your agent, when you continue to kind of talk to your agents, it will continue to log down everything, every single step. So this is sort of like a history. You're talking histories between you and the agent itself. But not only remembers all the request, response, all the questions and answers, all the prompts, it would also remember if you ask the agent to call tools. So it will specify as a different type of events inside that specific memory, right? So if you're going back to the history, you know, like, oh, this is a quick, tools, right? And so it calls the tools, but sometimes in computer or, I want to store something specifically short term. So this is where the state is coming from. So a state is a short term place where you can store a key and value. So you can kind of store that. So kind of storing the states, storing a specific type of data, you can kind of just store it here. And then these will also be logged as one of the events down here. So it will know the state change of your memories, and you can continue to talk to it and all that kind of stuff, right? So why is this important? Because if your agent is just directly talking to LLM, it would know all the histories, right? So this is why it stores everything, so the LLM knows it will continue to work with you on providing you with the answers and all that kind of stuff. And this information can be stored in memory. And for today's workshop, everything will be stored in memory, of course. But you have a choice to actually store them in hardware or on disk. Currently, there's two. Until May 2025, they have two default selections for you. One in memories, and one you can store the long-term in Vertex, right? So these are the two things. And remember these things. Like these are. You think this is all just text? No, you can actually store multi-models. So you can store the images, you can store the binary file of your videos, and these are all going to be stored under artifacts, right? So this is where you can kind of keep everything, and that's how the memory works in ADK, all right? So now we have the memories. This is what's going on. So when you talk to an agent, you actually and then it's going to trigger the runner. The runner is going to find the right agents to talk to, and it's going to initiate a session, right? It is either going to find the session, like in the hardware or the hard disk, or it's going to initiate new sessions on the memories. And then it's going to create all these events, and you're going to continuously update your sessions during that interaction time, right? So that is what's going on with, the ADK itself. So when you initiate the agent with ADK, this is what's going on underneath the hood. And I think you should remember that because it's very important so that if you're going to debug in the future, you would know what's going on. All right, so who remember this diagram here? Who were here like in March? Right, so you remember this, right? Things get complicated when you have multiple agents, when you have multiple things. And as a human, we like to categorize and pattern everything, right? So we have different ways of how, A2, like how the LMs can be put together, or we have different ways of how agents wants to work with each other, right? So you have like agents that works together to come up with the solutions, or you have agents who are competing with each other to find the best solutions. So there's different ways of working with them. And, like specifying this can be a headache. And we've been trying to do that for a very long time with LangGraph and all that kind of stuff. But in agent, they actually have some built-in tools for you to apply this. So think about this as workflow. So these are workflow agents. So instead of just a normal like LLM agents where you ask questions and will come back with an answer, this will orchestrate different things for you, right? So there's different ways. So you can call agents in a sequential ways. So this is like a sequential agent. And then if you look at the code itself, this is what it looks like, right? Just initiate a sequence agent, and it will then run the agents sequentially by how you put it in the session, right? And all you have to do is just specify sub-agents on the top, and it's going to find all the agents under that. It's going to execute it sequentially. Well, similar to parallel agents, and then you get the gist. It will just run things in parallel. And we have more complicated like workflows where we can have agent who will decide which agent to call. So this will might more be like in a selection, or after you process the thinking, or just select the right agent for you. Or we can do loops. So we'll loop through multiple times until we find the right answers and then provide that. And so for today's workshop, guess which one we'll be doing? Yes, of course. So you've seen that. Like, did you read? You did already? All right. So yes, we'll want to do the hardest part. So we'll do the loop agent. Well, and then the loop agent. One of the things you want to think about is this thing here, maximum iterations. I strongly recommend everybody to put in the maximum iteration. The reason why is because if you don't get out of that infinite loop, I don't know how much bill you're gonna get at the very end of the month, right? So I don't know. Just making sure. So make sure you have the maximum iteration put in as a stopper, case stopper, so you don't get that huge bill. All right. So all the developers here likes to complicate things, and so is I, right? So we don't want to just write code and ask the agent to do the LMs to provide all the answers. I want to manipulate things. I want to, customize all the data before it goes into LLMs. And after it comes out from LLMs, I want to twinkle it a little bit as well. This is where the callback function is used for. A callback function, if you look at the code itself, very simple. It's just defining, this is just a definition of when do I want to call that particular action that I want to implement, right? Very simple stuff. But there's many places where you can intercept them, right? There's one place where if before you actually put your prompt into the agent, there's a place where you can intercept it. There's a place before you call the actual models, after the models, executing the tools, going out of the tools, and then going out from the agent. So multiple places where you can do the interceptions. And I think I already given the answer right here, but can you think of an example of where you would do the interceptions? Any ideas? Well, I'm giving you all the answers up there.
What was the question again?
The questions is what you do if, like, what kind of manipulations will you do in the interceptions?
Just to see if you're getting the right answer.
Yeah, good answer, right? Checkings, right? Checking to make sure that you're getting the right answers. Security, making sure you're getting the right, you're getting everything secured, right? Right, and then you can also put in some cachings. If I want to temporarily store some of the tooling, the tool that I've executed, I want to store it temporarily. This is where I can manipulate it and store it somewhere else. And I can also put in some security guardrails, right? So if I want to check if this person has, authentication is authorized to actually execute this tool. It's a good place to put it, right? It's just different ways you can play around with it, just different things you can do as well. So this is the callback. All right, so we've written a bunch of agents, right? We've done all the workflows, all that kind of stuff. Are we ready to deploy? Yay! Are we ready in all 3 rooms? Yeah? Cool? All right? Well, I don't know. Last time I did it, it didn't turn out so well. I think I probably destroyed, oh no. So remember that really important thing, testing. Everybody tends to forget before they put things onto production, like yesterday. So it's better if we can do some testings. And in agents terms, we don't call it testing, we call it evaluations. And you should always do evaluations before you put your agents into productions, right? And please remember that. And for ADK, we actually provide you with a framework where you can actually do evaluations, right? And then there's multiple ways of doing evaluations. For the one that we'll be using today would be more like a black box testing. How many of you who knows test-driven design? Right, test-driven design, yes. So this is very similar to test-driven design, where you are going to, first of all, define the inputs, what you're gonna input into the systems, and the expected output, right? So that's a black box testing. So I will define a bunch of expected result right here, and it will run through the evaluation. It's going to give me a score of how good it is. So in ADK's case, it's gonna evaluate 2 things. Is it a correct tooling call? Or is it a good output, right? Is it similar to what you're trying to get? So depending on what the agent is getting, it is going to be scored on top of that as well, right? So this is evaluations. In today's workshop, you will be doing some evaluations, so please make sure you do that before you deploy to production. All right, so now we are ready to actually put it onto production. And what we have done so far is we have the agent defined, we pull in all the ADK libraries, we are ready to put it into the cloud. And if you've been writing software today, how would you package everything and put it on the cloud? Docker, container, right? Yeah, same. So yeah, similar. So you're not doing anything special with the agent right now. Basically, containerize everything, deploy that. So you can either deploy that onto Google's Cloud Run, or you can deploy that onto your own GKE, Kubernetes cluster, whatever. So one way of doing that. Another way of doing that right now, we were giving you options. So for those like hardcore, like container folks or your company wants to have everything secured, they want to make sure that all the CI/CD pipelines are built in a way that will deploy it on the platform itself. Doing that with the container is great. But in Google's world, under Vertex AI platform, we provide you with a different way of deploying. So basically what you have to do is similar to what we've been doing before. We define the agent, but there's one difference. You don't need to do the runners because the Vertex AI engine, this thing here, will manage the runtime runner for you, right? So you don't have to define that. So if you're deploying your agent directly into the agent engine, all you have to do is just define your agents, do the things, define the tools and all that kind of stuff, and then just deploy that, right? So, and the different things you get is that you get automatically observabilities. So everything is kind of like plug in there, you just turn it on and you can see like the tracings. Like what Megan was saying, you get to see like how how long each agent or each call takes, right? So you can see that. But for this one, there's more flexibilities, but sometimes you have to build your own open telemetries here, right? So it's just different ways, different things, different ways to think about it. But also, ADK is providing some open telemetries right here, so you don't have to craft everything out from the box. But this one gives you Google's perspective on how you should monitor your agents. Right, so once we have everything deployed, we can now move on to MCP, Model Context Protocol. So thanks to Megan, we know what MCP is. So not much of the things that we need to do here, but first of all, in the workshop today, you will be implementing your own MCP server and your MCP client. I always look at MCP server as toolboxes, right? So you have your toolboxes and all the tools, all the things that you do is different tools. So you kind of just put them in one single toolboxes. This is the server. So whenever an agent wants to use the tool, it will then just go to the toolbox, look at using the list tools to look at what are the options I have, and then use the call tools to pick up the tools and does its job, right? So this is what we're doing, and then we will be implementing this in our workshop. The only difference is, if you go and look at all the examples up there on the internet, all the MPC server is done this way. So you have your client, your server, or deploy in the same instances, right? So that is why you can your client can quickly access all the tools through standard I/O, right? So you can kind of just quickly call it. And I don't like that because think about this. Why do we want MCP server? Why do we want MCP? Why? What's the point? It's one extra level of complexity, right? I can always define my tools in my applications, and then my agent can kind of just use the tools right there, right? Why do I need that extra level of, hey, I'm building this toolbox here so you can grab it? Why? Well, because I have too many tools, right? Because that's why I want to have a centralized way of managing all these tools, right? That's the point. But if you are managing all these tools, you would imagine I will have thousands and thousands or hundreds of tools, right? Are you going to attach every tool to every single one of your agent? No, I don't think you should do that. And luckily, like in MCP server and client, there's a way you can connect it in separately. And I think that's a proper way of doing it. So that's why we're doing that right now in our workshop. You'll be doing that. So you will be deploying them separately. So you have a centralized toolbox for every agent, right? So that's why we're doing that. And then last but not least, agent, A2A. Thanks, Megan. We can talk about we have a lot of agents. We can talk to each other. So how does agent know each other? Well, think about agent A2A as a way for the agent to talk to each other. But before if I want to talk to this table of agents, I don't know you. I don't know your name. I don't know what you do. So how do I talk to you, right? I don't even know the language you speak, right? What's the easiest way? Well, you can give you a business card. So you have a list of things you do, your name, and how to contact you, and I will be able to talk to you, right? It's similar to that. That's agent card. So basically what happens, this agent card is kind of like an identity about the specific agents. So the most important thing is the name. I don't think this one. The name of the agent. The second one is the provider, the URL, basically. This is where you can find the agent. This is where the agent lives. So I can go and grab this agent. Other thing is the capabilities, so the LM knows what each agent is available can do, and the other thing is the skills, right? The skills is like, oh, I am a carpenter agent, so I can build tables, right? So this is things that you can do, and another important thing about the agent card is authentication. Can I have the honor to talk to this other agent? Do I have access to this agent? So this is a very important part to do the securities. So people often ask about security. Remember MCP when it first came out? It doesn't have security. And I was like, why are we doing this? But now they have it. So now we need to have that as well for. All right, so agent discoveries. Similar to what we're doing right now with MCP, we also needed a A2A server. So this A2A server right here is going to store all the agents' card, right? So this A2A server is ready to hand out cards to anybody that wants to ask for it. And then it will have probably like a way of providing all these cards. So because A2A is a standard protocols, there's no standard way of implementing it. So what I'm suggesting you today, right now, is how I will implement my A2A server, and this is what you see today. And this one is gonna give you all the access to your agents. And then when the workflow agent, when the agent wants to pick up which agent you want to work on, it will look at all the cards and pick up the right agents. And it is going to then communicate to the agents. So once it finds the agents, it is going to start something called a task, right? What does the task look like? This is what a task looks like. This is part of the A2A schema, A2A protocols. So they define what to send in between two agents. So if I were you, I'll remember this. So it would have an ID of that specific task. It would have all the information that it needs to execute the task, and it's going to send it all the way over to the A2A server. So what happens to the A2A server? The A2A server is going to, first of all, you might want to store that somewhere, so you figure out the histories, and then you can call the agents to do its work, come back with a response back to the agents, and the response would look like this. This is the mandatory things where you can store the session IDs, the task status, and the histories and artifacts, all the things that you need from the other side. So basically just exchanging this. Remember API, open API is similar stuff, nothing new. So once we have all the A2A server, now we are going to deploy everything. But to deploy it, there's something that, a little bit different. So if you want to deploy A2A right now, you don't have options of Vertex right now. You have options only to run it, to deploy it as a container. So you will be deploying everything as a cloud run right now, as a cloud run in a container on top of Google's Cloud Run. So that's that. And we are open for Q&As, I guess, and we'll go on to our workshop. Any questions at all? Yes, there's a question.
Yeah, I was just asking, what's the difference between an orchestrating agent and an A2A server thing? Like, like there's supposed to be like an agent on top which is going to get all the information and then pass it on to other ones, right? So what's the difference between that and an A2A server?
A2A server, what's the difference between an A2A server and an orchestration agent, right? Well, A2A server is the place where it will have the list of agents. So it's basically a server. It doesn't do anything. It's a place. It's a server. And then you would have different agents, right? And then a workflow agent, it doesn't have to be a workflow agent, but mostly it will because you're talking to multiple agents, right? A workflow agent is orchestrating how agents work to each other, right? Remember, if we go back to the slide here, right here. This one, right? It will orchestrate how the agents are connected to each other. So if you want to call them in parallel, if you want to call them all that, so depends on where they are.
So workflow agent becomes pretty much supervisor of all the other
Yes,
agents. And
that's-
the A2A servers basically MCP provide an API to call those.
Well,
workers.
the A2A server provides a list of agents, and MCP server provides a list of tools. So different levels. Yeah.
Conceptually,
Conceptually.
A2A server is not
Yeah.
too much different from MCP, but provides the
Exactly. Yes.
business cards.
Exactly. And think about API servers doing the same thing. Yeah. We have questions in the other room. Yes. Do you have any questions? No? If not, I'm going to move on. Oh. Oh.
Hey, Christina, you mentioned about short-term memory and long-term memory, and then the Vertex AI engine would take care of scaling. So when as an engineer, I don't have to worry about scaling and observability. It automatically scales and uses the scaling laws and spawns the agents accordingly as you use them.
So from what I know today, I don't know if they handle scaling. I will get back to you on that because I think they do, but they do take care of all the memories. So in terms of memory management, to claim more memories, to extend that, they do that. But I think what you're saying is scaling up to multiple agents, right? To multiple
Right, if it's a single agent or multiple agent,
Exactly.
as a developer, I want to abstract that layer for myself,
Exactly.
I'd rather focus on deployment and
Yes.
try to make sure the agent works fine.
From their current architecture, I think you can.
Okay.
But I have to go back and double check and just want to confirm that because what they currently expose is one single endpoint. So whenever you want to call that specific agent, all you have to do is connect to the endpoints,
Perfect.
right? So I'll get back
That's
to you.
what the picture showed, but I just wanted to be double sure. Thank
Yes.
you.
There's a question and there's a question over here. And there's a question.
Really quick. So the MCP server and the A2A server, are those cloud runs as well that we'll be doing?
Yes, they're all on Cloud Runs. Yes.
So what is stopping us from just creating a bunch of MCP servers and just having one agent and just building out agent that can discover those MCP servers. So
Well,
the question-
no one's stopping you. You can do that, but when it comes down to management, when
Yeah.
it comes down to dependency management, say if you have two different versions of tools, are you gonna be? Do you want to maintain just one version of tool, or do you want to have multiple versions of tools scattered around different agents, and then one day comes back and says this tool doesn't work because currently it's not how it works today, right? So it's just like management problem. There's no one stopping you from creating multiple MCP server on top of that, or you don't even. People ask me about this. I don't think you need to have MCP server if you don't need to. If you only have like 3 different tools, why would you want to do MCP server, right? So it's up to you.
Gotcha. Thanks.
Yeah.
Hi, over here. So,
I think that gentleman's first, and then you.
Okay.
Right?
Hi. I heard Jensen Wang first talk about agents communicating with agents in NVIDIA, right? But A2A in your particular example, does it communicate with each other within the Google platform, or could you communicate with another agent externally?
Okay, so the point of A2A is to unify the way the agent communicate to each other, right? And then if you look at the Google's list, that's why we open sourced it. We want more people to adopt it, and Microsoft's already on it as well. So this is supposed to be, if everybody's on board with that, so MCP is also came from Anthropic as well, right? So everybody's on board with that, so everybody's now building that. Similar to A2A, there's more people adopting A2A, and I don't think there's other competing, well, there's one, but there's other bigger competing protocol that's competing with A2A right now. So I would assume in the future, this is how agent and agent communicate with each other. Yeah. One question there.
I'm a little confused about the runner that you went over. So there's the runner and then there's Vertex AI, but they're the same. And
Right.
so when would you use the runner and when would you use?
So if you deploy that with a container, then you probably want the runner because you don't have the memory card built in for you. You don't have like the electricity connected to you. Think of our Vertex as something that's already there. It's just waiting for you to plug into your agents, and then it will just work, right? And then if you're doing that, is your container your own application? It doesn't have to be containers. Like you're running your application in a VM, you do want to set up that facility for your agents. So that's the runner.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so let's go on to workshops. Right, so for the workshop itself, I built this workshop to answer one question because I think after the last workshop that I did in New York in March, the most questions I've got is people want to ask me, how do I bring agents into my current applications? I know people talk about like I can build greenfield applications that's pure agentic. That's great. But how do I introduce agents into something that I already have, right? So you are all going to be an engineer today who is working for a startup company called InstaVive, right? And this is, well, it's a copy of Instagram, I know. That's why I named it InstaVive. So it does all the social media stuff. So people can put their like things, like their posts, like what they're thinking, what they've been doing, and then they have places for events, right? So that's that. But then the problem is the CEO or the CTO came to like the engineer, because you're the lead engineer. We're like, we need to figure out a way to plug agent or AI into our system to get our next round of funding, because this is how we're going to secure the next $3 million. So figure out a way to do that. And then you're like, okay, I'll go back there and like, how do I add that there? And then you don't want to build something specifically just for AI. You want it to be useful. So you went and do some studies, and then you figure out in your user base, there's a particular set of users. They're very busy, very smart. They're also introverts. They want to like have friends. They want to hang out with friends, but they're too shy and they're too busy, right? So these people wants to go out, but they don't have time to figure out what their friends likes and all that kind of stuff. They don't have time to figure out what's available in New York City because there's way too many events right here. Would that be an easier way if we can just let them select the friends that they want to hang out with, and then just provide them with the plan? And the better part is, we're going to implement something called social listening. So what is social listening? It's creepy, I know, but it's like, it's just kind of listen to what your friends has been doing over the past 3 years, and then figure out what they like. Don't worry, Facebook is already doing that, so you're good. So that's kind of what we don't want to do, right? this is a great place for us to introduce agents, right? This is what we're going to do. We are going to implement a couple of different agents. For these people, first of all, we want to implement the event planner agent. The event planner agent is going to do very simple stuff. This is the base agent. You're going to use the default tools to go to use Google to find out what are the available events in the places that you want to go. And then we want to use the platform integration. So this is the part where I want to answer all the people about, hey, if you already have an API that exposed, like GitHub, GitLab, they have been putting out a bunch of like MCP tools. And this is how they did it. They just wrap around the API and they provided a tool for their agents. And you'll be doing that today. And tomorrow you can go back to your boss and says, I can now connect to all the agents because I know how to do MCP servers. This is how you're going to do it. So you're going to wrap around the API and provide services. You're going to build this agent to talk to the MCP server. That's the next one. And then the third one, which is the actual really creepy agent, that is going to then do social profiling for all your friends through the InstaVive thing, right? So that's that. And then finally, we're going to have the orchestrate agent, who is going to be the orchestrator to talk to all these different agents and then figure out that plan. So what communication protocol are we going to use? A2A. Yes, we'll be using A2A right here. And at the end of the workshop, what you are going to do is what you have is multiple Cloud Run running in your Google project. And then you also have, Vertex AI, which has the actual orchestration engine deployed in Agent Engine. And then you also have all the data source and all that kind of stuff up there as well. All right. So these are all the agents we'll be building. Don't worry about it. Our friend, Debbie, and Annie will take you through the workshop today, and they will let you know that. Right. Let's get started. So first thing what we want to do first is everybody go to your Google Cloud Console and click on this little icon right up there. This is going to start up your Cloud Shell. For people that did that already, just pretend that you didn't do that and then do it again, or refresh your browser. And it's going to ask you to authenticate it. Make sure that you authorize it, right? After authorizing it, make sure you click on this Open Editor. This will be your IDE for today. This is very similar to. All right, how many of you who are using VS Code to code right now? All right, so majority of you who would know how to use this because this is very similar to VS Code. Perfect. And then, last but not least, please, this is not a race. You will not get a prize if you finish first. This is about learning journeys. This is about reading the instructions carefully, copy and paste carefully to the right file. Please make sure you read the instructions. But I have to say, like people in New York, you do your job, you do your due diligence, you read instructions. That's great. Compared to what we did last time in San Francisco, you're better. And please keep this up, please. Perfect. So make sure you read your instructions and learn every single steps, right? Like try to understand what you're doing in each steps. And make sure you are in the right project. Make sure you follow the instructions, do your projects, and that is it. I'm going to hand it over to Debbie and Annie.
Great. Okay, everyone. So we know that was a little long, even though it was amazing. So we're going to give you a 5-minute break so that you can go clear your chi or whatever you need to do. But please come back in 5 minutes because we're going to get started on time, okay? Awesome. So, yeah. 2:35. Be back here.
I get a 403 when I connect to the I try
2 minutes. We mean it. We're nice, but we mean it.
Or step,
I do mean that. Okay, people didn't take it that seriously, huh? An empty threat. I see that there's one person in one of those rooms, Pin Oak. Shout out to you and Pin Oak, sir. I don't think you can tell I'm talking to you. Yeah, hello. Thank you for being on time. You're the best. Well raised. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Okay. Oh, okay. We're getting some people back. Do they hear me? Okay. Pin Oak, what are we doing, fam? Let's get back in there, huh? Who's ready? Who's ready to do this? Okay. So, what were we going to say? Yeah, I forgot what we were going to say. Oh, right. One thing before we start is, you see, we have these gold lanyards. Anybody with a gold lanyard is a teaching assistant, and they can help answer all of your questions. So we'll be running through this. Maybe you're ahead of us. Maybe you're behind us. Maybe you're right with us. Everything is okay. So if you need help, just raise your hand, and a teaching assistant will come help you very soon. So thank you, TAs, for all your help. We couldn't do it without you. Woo! Love it. I love it. As you can see, we're a very serious group, okay? Okay, great. So, that's your mic. I'll use this one. Is my left? Yes, okay, thank you. So, hello everyone for the 12 millionth time. My name is Debbie.
My name is Annie.
And we're on the America's Global Advocacy team. So, I mentioned before, Christina's our manager. You can imagine what that's like. It's amazing, because she's the best, truly, even though she traumatizes this poor person in the front. It's okay, it's okay. We'll all remember what callbacks are, right? We're all pros now on agents, right? ADK, A2A, MCP, ABC, 1, 2, 3. Everybody knows what everything means. Okay, great, so let's get started.
Anyone ready to build an agent? Like ready? Excited? How you feel? Tired? Excited? Yeah, so let's go to the step 3 together. Do you have the collab open? Like Christina said before, like first, Debbie, let's do the demo page.
Okay,
do it together. So let's first click the icon to open the Cloud Share together. I hope you already done this. Does anyone have questions or has problem opening the Cloud Shell?
No.
Okay. So next step is let's open the editor.
Make sure you open the editor. You will not use the Cloud Shell today.
Yeah, you may notice that this is very similar to VS Code. So hope you feel familiar when you're coding here. Hey, are we opening it?
Yes, it's open.
Great. So making sure you have your right projects sign in. Like if you don't have a sign in, making sure you sign in here.
Yeah. So in that lower left-hand corner, and there's pictures in the lab as well, so you can follow along there.
Yeah. Is everyone with me? Yeah?
Select a Google Cloud project, and then
Great.
select your project.
Yeah, so next step, let's do the authentication together. Let's run the command. Can you open the terminal?
Yes.
I'll open the terminal here. So this is you're creating the project at the beginning to link your...
The project you made for today.
Yeah, you create a new project today to link your billing account. So that's a project you're gonna open. If you have any question, you can raise your hand and the TA can go help you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm reloading because I'm missing this
Any
top
question?
file section.
Is it okay?
This is missing.
Oh, you can just open the terminal here. Just wait. I guess it take a while.
Yeah. Oh, okay, this is a fun fact. The editor sometimes takes a minute to load, so I'm missing like my file and terminal stuff on the top.
You can do this. Yeah, it's doing this.
How did you open that?
Yeah, so if you have trouble finding your terminal, you can just click in this. It's exactly the same layout as VS Code.
Click in what?
Yeah, and then just do the authentication together. So let's copy this gcloud auth. Anyone has problem, open the editor and terminal. You just copy the command and then do the authentication together, like gcloud auth to see. And then here you can see the account you're signed in. And then let's do the next step. Next step is let's clone this project. And once we clone the project, let's try to, is everyone able to find your project ID? Yeah? So first, let's copy this init command together. Let's copy this command. And then once we copy it here, it's going to ask you to paste your project ID. Can you enter it? So it's going to ask you to enter your project ID, making sure you paste your project ID, not project number, because some people copy the wrong one. Making sure you choose the ID, not number, and you copy this project ID, and then you paste it here. Is everyone okay? If you have any question, just raise your hand. Okay.
What is this? There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So next step, let's set project ID together. So while Debbie is doing that, I'm curious, how many of you heard about service account? Or service account? Like only very few of you? So just let you know that service account is like a robot user for your code. And so if your agent or application want to get access to Google Cloud Service securely, you're going to use the service account. And that's why, so first we're going to enable the service, and then we're going to add the permission for service account. So just copy this gcloud service to enable the service. Everyone's following? Copy the gcloud service. Is everyone following? Any problem?
We'll give you a second to catch up. We know it's new stuff.
Yeah?
So don't worry. All the instructions are in front of you also.
Yeah, it's not a race. Just take your time.
And this command will take a little while to get all the APIs going. Could take a minute, 2 minutes. So don't worry, nothing's wrong.
Yeah. Is it running?
Yeah, it's running.
Does it finish?
No, it's still going.
Yeah, take a while. Yeah, so we are at the step to enable all the service so that later on we can access them. Is it finished?
Not yet, but
Okay.
I'm thinking we move this here so that you are closer.
It's okay.
You can see it.
Yeah? Oh my God.
Oh boy.
It's okay.
There we go.
Great.
Okay, you can see it's taking a little while. Again, that's normal. The APIs are just setting up.
Yeah, if you have any question, you just... Great. So now we successfully enabled the service, and
Set environment.
next step is export all the environment variable and set up permission. So just copy this export those environment variable, and then the next step is enable service account for the permission. And you may notice that when we do the service, when we set up the permission over here, we have the same service account for all the permission. I don't think this is recommended for the production because you don't want one service account to access every service. But this is just for demo purpose. It's like easy setup. So let's do it together. Just copy this code and then go to the terminal to run it. Debbie, let's run it. Is everyone following? Anyone? Good? Good? Great.
Where is everybody?
Yeah, are you with me? Like the, yeah? Great.
Close enough? Okay.
So let's go to the next one. Creating the artifact repo.
Mm-hmm.
Like let's do it.
You'll see there's an option. You can validate if all of these like service account permissions went through in your IAM console.
Yeah, you can try open it to show us.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, if you click it, you probably can't open it.
I know,
But
but
yeah, whatever.
it's just. Oh, did this freeze?
Um,
Oh,
I
what's happening? It
think
wasn't scrolling. I think it just froze.
yeah, if you do the Google Cloud Console. Yeah, you can verify your permission at your Cloud Console. So we're gonna show you here. So here, okay, it's not showing up. Maybe
Let's see.
have you run the command for
Permissions
the?
for my project.
Have you run the command?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Let's see. Let's double check. I did run this. How do you?
Yeah.
I think your computer's different than mine. It's not showing me the tabs on top.
So
What do
you
you
probably
do?
have to press it. Oh, you haven't run this command.
Oh, maybe I just
okay.
missed it. But wait, how do you do? Oh, okay. There we go.
Yeah, so we just checked from Cloud Console that we haven't set up the role correctly, so that's why we enable this again.
Simmer down, folks. We love the convo, but please keep it low.
Thank you. Yeah, let's check it again.
Okay, let's check now.
Great, and you can see that we can see all the role here. That means we successfully assigned the role to the service account. Great, you check it.
Yeah, good thing we checked it.
Yeah. And the next step is you're creating this artifact repository so that later on you have the Docker image deployed here. So just copy the command to creating this. Yeah, just we are at the step that create an artifact registry repository.
Yeah.
And we're going to set up the
At the end
map
of
platform
this page, I think
API.
we're gonna wait a second
So
for it before
from
the map
Christina's
page.
demo before, you saw that there's a web application and we can see the location. We are able to see the Google Map in the application. That's why we will need access to map platform API. And how you do it is you go to the Cloud Console and API service to create it.
Let's wait a second. We just got intel that people are a little behind. So
Okay, sure. Yeah, so people's a little behind. Like let's take some time to wait.
Yeah. So we'll give you a minute or so to catch up. We're going to meet here at Setup Map Platform for API Keys, okay?
Yeah.
Can we just get a show of thumbs? Who's here already? Okay, great. So let's say, yeah, a minute, 30 seconds. And we're not going to do this the whole time. This is just the setup part, so we want to make sure everybody's set up.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the time, we're going to keep going.
Yeah, we want to have you smooth setup so that you can enjoy the fun part to see the agent.
Okay. So, oh, wow.
Excited.
Give it another 20 seconds, maybe? Okay. I think it's quieted down a lot more now, so yeah.
Yeah, so let's continue set up map platform for API key. So first, go to a Cloud Console and clicking this API service.
Yeah. Give her the.
Hey people, you are at the Google's event. Don't use Safari, use Chrome.
Save yourselves. Okay.
Yeah, so let's create a credential and clicking API key here. Like clicking create credential, API key, clicking it, and we're creating an API key for Google Map. So now you can copy your API key so that later on you can verify whether you do it correctly. So you can copy and save it somewhere, or you can like ignore it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you can see this API key, and let's try edit this API key. So here it comes to the most important part. Like we need to rename this API key to Maps Platform API key. Remember, you have to do the exact same name. Like you don't have no space before and after. You have to do exact same name so that later on, like we can find the API key in the application. So making sure you copy the exact same, no space before.
Yeah.
And then let's choose none and then click restrict key to add the proper restriction. Let's restrict it to only for map JavaScript API. So here we set a proper restriction for this API key. Great. And then save it. So now we create this API key, and you can see that we have this green arrow here shows Maps Platform API key, and we finish our setup. Yay!
Yay!
Everyone
Good job,
can-
everybody. That was the hardest part.
Yeah, this is really hard, I know. We have the hand over there. Can TA help them? So next, let's set up our graph database. But before we set up, I'm curious, like, how many of you heard about like relational database? Right? Obvious. How many of you heard about graph database? We have a lot of people, but less people here. So in this application, we're gonna use graph database because we're using, we're doing social listening. We want to have a database representing people's relationship. So we want to have the node and edge to representing people's friendship and connection. And you will see it soon. So and we're gonna use Spanner in this case, and just a fun fact is Google Engine is also using Spanner, and Spanner is now supporting graph database, and it's really exciting, really fun, and let's give it a try. So just first, let's create an instance and create a database inside the instance by copy this command to your terminal.
So we're going back to the editor, and in the terminal, I'm posting that command.
Yeah, just in the terminal, paste the command so that you're creating the instance and also create a database inside the instance. So still remember the service account I mentioned before is a robot user for the application. So now you need to making sure your service account had access and can read and write to this database. So that's why I'm doing this another command. So with this command, it's allow reading and write access to this graph database we're creating. And then let's set up our Python virtual environment. Just copy this, and then you set it up so that you activate your Python virtual environment. And it will install all the necessary dependency for you. And go to your project. So everyone set up the virtual environment, like able to set up the virtual environment? Take a while.
Yeah, it takes a second.
Take a second.
Oh, I think it's too early. It's too early.
Yeah. Almost. Yeah, we have successfully built. Great. Oh, we have a hand over there. Can TA help? And also a hand.
Yeah, keep your hands up high. Wave them like you just don't care, because otherwise we can't see you.
Yeah. Does it finish? Can I see?
It does not.
We have a hand over here. Yeah, thank you so much. Does it finish?
No.
Oh my gosh.
It's okay. I think it's okay, right? It takes a second.
Have you tried Spanner Studio before? Like, no, it's first time? You're gonna have fun. You're gonna see some cool stuff. We have hand over there. Is it working?
It's not completely finished yet, I think. Oh, sorry. Waiting for
Waiting,
DPL.
waiting,
Okay,
waiting.
We're almost there.
Almost.
Yay!
Yay! It finished. So now, if you go to if you search for Spanner, you will find the Spanner in your Cloud Console. Just clicking it, and you will open it. And you can see we have an instance we created over here. It's called GraphDB instance. And we just click into it, and you can see the database you create inside this instance. Where is it? Okay, it's over there. Yeah, you can see this is a database we created, and we just click into it. Does everyone see the spanner on your Cloud Console? Are you able to find the instance you created? Great. So now we're going to do some fun stuff. Where's the...
Scroll up. Scroll up a little. We're in Spanner Studio now.
Oh, yeah, open this. It's okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so open this, like a new...
Query tab, a new query.
Open this new empty query tab. Like it's showing over there, just open it, and then we copy the first query here. So the first one is graph, social graph. Just copy this, and then we paste it here, and then we run it. And you're gonna see some really cool like graph over here. So here showcase that the direct friendship among different people. So you'll see the node is representing the different person, and then the edge between them representing friendship. So you can click on person here to see all the person here, and the friendship representing the relationship between them and they're good friends. So this is the very first graph you can see. Like we can see the direct friendship. And then the next one. So we can copy the social graph and then copy it to the query here. And we run it.
So you can delete the one that was previously there, replace it with this one.
You can see we have some like red dot and blue dot. So red dot here means event, and blue dot here means people. And the relationship is people who attend the event. You can think of it as red dot is today's event, like built with AI, and the people is you guys as all the people attending to this event. And we have multiple events here. You can think of it as previous events and the people who also attended to previous events. So you will have the edge between the person and the event. And let's go to see the last graph. So this is a little bit like more complicated, more fun, and you can also see there's some red node and blue node. So red node representing post and blue node representing person. So the person will write a post mentioning another person. So for example, after today's event, and like you send a X post mentioning, hey, I attended this Build with AI event, like written by Christina. So you mention Christina in your post. And then so you will have you like mentioning Christina in your post. Like this is a relationship between you. And you can also, like you have if you're a good friend with another person, you have also the age between you two, representing that your direct friendship with each other. So this one showcase who having writing the post mentioning another person, like going to the same event together. And again, you can see the relationship here by clicking it. So this is you can play around the spanner graph database to see the different relationship. And that's the second part.
Yeah. So you can probably imagine how this is going to come into play later, right, when we're building our app. The relationships, we're going to use Spanner later. Great.
Great. So let's get to the next part. now let's finally see our web application, InstaVibe. This is the application that Christina showed you before. It's about, they mentioned their posts and their events.
Volume, please.
And if you click any events here, like any event here, choose one you
this
like.
is an image, so I can't click the event here.
What?
Well,
Okay.
because we have to deploy it.
Oh, we have to deploy it. Sure, thank you.
And he's very excited to get into this.
Yeah. Yeah, if you click into any event, can you scrolling down?
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
You can see the web. So you can see the location here. So this is the web application we're gonna deploy soon. And can you scrolling down? So now you go back to your IDE and then copy this so that you can making sure you have the right Google Map API key. Remember previously when we create an API key, I suggest you to save it so that you can later on check whether you create the right one. So here, let's run this.
So we were just in the Spanner console. We're back in the terminal now, and we just ran this.
Anyone has questions, or are you with me? Good. Good, thanks.
Yeah.
So here you can see this is the Google Map API key. So previously, if you save your Google Map API key when you first create it, you can now compare it to see whether it is correct. But yeah, this is just to show you how we're gonna use API key in our application. And then later on, let's build our container image to the artifact registry report we created before. So let's run this gcloud build command to build our container image.
Yeah. So instead of having to like download Docker or something, we can do it this way, right? We can build the image and then deploy it this way to Cloud Run.
Yeah, you're building the image together with me?
Okay. We'll let that,
Yeah.
the image is building still, so. When you said click, I was like, what is she talking about? And then you're like, can you scroll? It's like, oh my God, I'm sorry. It's like, I can't click this.
Sorry.
Oh, no, it's fine. Okay. I'm sorry, I thought you meant to click that image and not scroll down.
I wanted to.
Okay. Okay, so our image is still going. It's gonna, again, these things take time. Just gotta be patient.
Yeah.
Maybe, if you've been using Google Cloud for a little while, you might have previously known container registry. We don't use that anymore. We now use artifact registry, just in case you're wondering. Okay.
Yeah, it's
almost there.
almost done. I'm so excited. I'm gonna see I can actually see the web application soon and click it, not the image.
Yeah. It's so warm.
I was like, click it.
Oh, this is taking. So, fun fact: when things take this long in the future, we're gonna do a little surprise for you. We didn't think it would take this long until a little bit later, but prepare yourselves, and we'll invite you to join us.
Yes.
To do a little something, okay?
Yeah.
Oh yes, go now. We won't do it now. Yeah.
Okay, you won't miss it.
Yeah.
We will wait for you.
Okay, there we go. It finally went. So now.
Now let's copy this deployment code.
Yep.
Just copy gcloud deploy part and then let's deploy it. Is it going to take long?
Oh, I don't know. That poor guy just left.
Let's go to the G console Cloud Run to wait. So it won't take time for us to get in there.
So you can see we like, oh, we're deploying this in the command line, but we want to make sure that it happened. So we want to check it in the console. Yes, I want to leave the query. Okay. So it's just a good practice, right?
So if you go to Cloud Console and search Cloud Run, you're able to see this is being deployed. And you can see whether it's deployed successfully or not.
Not good. This is better.
Oh, it's okay. Can I see the terminal? See the progress? Okay, it takes.
Yeah, setting IAM policy. Yeah, MCP. Let's do MCP. Now I feel like I made it too exciting. Yeah.
You have to stand in here.
Yes, yeah. Okay, who is deploying right now? We're just waiting for their deployment. Wonderful, wonderful.
So the people who not raising your hand, like, are you still, which stage are you at? Like, still building? Okay, you're at. Great. Great. Great.
Does anybody do something fun while their stuff is deploying normally?
Like drink tea?
We got like a soft head nod here. Anybody do something fun while their stuff is deploying?
Eat pizza? Go out for a walk?
Oh, this guy's productive over here. I go on Instagram, you know, I like open a shopping web page maybe. Oh, there we go, it deployed. Okay.
Great.
Great.
So now let's go to the Cloud Run to see the things that's being deployed. You can see that it shows successfully deployed, and once you click it, and you're able to see the URL here. And if you click that, can we click that? Yeah, great. Yay, so we have this web application now.
Wow.
Yay, someone just need pizza. And you can choose now, Debbie, choose the event. Choose the
now
event
you can click on the event.
Yeah, choose the event you like. Oh, you want to go to escape room?
Oh, in Austin. Who's going to Austin?
And here's a map.
Wow.
Cool. Can you find it? Like everyone's able to find your application deploy? Still deploy?
Still deploying. Okay, yeah, it'll take maybe a few minutes.
Yeah.
But you can see our friends, Kevin, Diana, and Mike. We love those people. They're great.
Beacon Vibe.
They're posting here, right? This is our InstaVibe app. We can see what they're posting, we can like it, we can comment, and we can see the events. Pretty cool.
Is everyone deployed? Raise your hand. Yeah? Great.
Okay, well, I'll just show you this also. So you can get your URL from Cloud Run, but you can also see it here in your terminal, right? So it'll pop it out, say service URL. You can click that as well.
Yeah, thank you. So let's build our first agent. Excited? We spent so long, finally we're here.
Who is deployed? Completed. Okay,
yeah,
great.
so we're ready to build the first agent. You know, Christina said the first agent is a planner. It's like Debbie and I, we are visiting New York City, and we want to do a planning on what should we do this weekend. And then there's an ADK you're already familiar with from the previous keynote talk that you can build an easy or complicated agent with this framework. It has a tooling agent, and you can easily do evaluation. And can I go to the diagram?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so let's try to use the ADK to build our first agent. So what we want to do is we're going to copy this code to our agent planner agent.python file. So copy this code. This is how we use ADK to build the first planner agent. And if you
Okay, so we've been working in the terminal. If it's not open, you can open your Explorer. It's these two pieces of paper on the left side. And you'll see, since we cloned our project before, right, our project is there. So we can go to Agents, Planner, agent.py, and we're going to paste our code in there. Don't confuse it. Sometimes it's confusing terminal versus editor page. We're putting it in a file in the editor.
Yeah, can I go back to the code part? Yeah. So you can see that in this agent part, we have the model that is Gemini 2.0 Flash, and we have the instruction here to tell agent how does it help you do the planning. And we also have this ADK built-in Google search tool. So what it does behind the scene is agent is actually doing the Google search, trying to do the planning to say, hey, what is going on in New York City this weekend, and trying to do the planning for you according to the instruction you have. So that's a simple agent we can create it with ADK.
Yeah. Does that make sense? Everybody get what the event planner agent does? Cool.
Yeah, so then let's run the virtual environment by copy this command to the terminal.
Oh, and just a quick suggestion while this is loading, keep your tabs open. Keep that InstaVibe app open, because we'll refer to it a few times, so you can just go in there and refresh. You don't have to like reopen it. We do have a way to do that, but it's just easier that way. So just keep these tabs open. It'll be easier for you.
Yeah, but if you don't have it, you can always find it in the Cloud Run. There's a URL there that you can find it again. But yeah, now it is, you start the web ADK web server, and how we're gonna get in there is we can click in this preview and then change the port to 8000. And we're able to open this ADK web UI. That has everything for you. If you go to this ADK UI, you're able to see why it's only the black.
Oh, because I have to select the agent.
Sure.
Yeah.
You can select the agent planner. And in the planner agent, you can see the events, state, artifact, sessions, evaluation here. So all those are like things we mentioned before. They contain some short-term memory, long-term memory, sessions, and evaluation is what you use for testing. You will see later on. So let's give a try in this planner. You can see we have a session ID here, so we can start our conversation here. And let's go paste our question.
So this is where we're interacting with our agents, right? This is just the UI, so we can interact and test our agents.
So I'm gonna ask this agent, can you please plan something in Seattle for me this weekend? So just copy this question to the agent. And we're waiting for. Yeah, so agent say, I can help you do that. What date you want, what is your preference? And then you can copy your preference. Simply have a concise conversation with agent. If you find your planner is not reacting, it can be that AI or it can be that LM's response take long time, and then the ADK is timing out. If this is happening, you can simply just say, "Can you give me the planning again? Like, can you do the please repeat the plan." Repeat. Yeah.
So basically what's happening there is like it's reaching out, it's taking time, so the LLM is timing out a little bit, right? So, but there you go, we asked it to repeat, it comes up.
So sometimes it times out. If it times out, you can just ask it to repeat, and it will give you the plan based on your preference. Like they like the anime, they enjoy the food, so they have this plan suggesting for this person.
And you can see this actually picked up on this weekend, right? This weekend, and I enjoy food and anime. So it said, great, this weekend is June 7th to 8th. Sometimes it might say, great, you like food and anime, but what dates do you want? And you can follow up with a date, which is what we have in the lab. But don't do the date in the lab, because apparently it's too far in the future, and it can't find events. So do like this weekend or next weekend.
Yeah, play around and just see what agent would give it to you. And remember Christina's, in the Christina's slide, you'll see you don't test in production, and you do evaluation for agent. And here we have this evaluation tool in our ADK web UI that you can see it here. If you click the evaluation, and then click in the evaluation, so those are the what was going on?
No, you're good, you're good. You're good.
Okay, so those are the pre-written evaluation we have to evaluate our agent. So with those evaluation, basically it's evaluating whether your response is in the right structure, whether it is reasoning properly, and we can try run like Boston and then click run evaluation to see how does this agent work corresponding to our expectation.
So this is checking how well our planner agent works. There's synthetic data on the back end that Christina made that says, this is what a good response looked like. So it's evaluating the response that we got currently from our agent to the synthetic data that we gave it in the back to say, like, this is what good looks like.
Yeah, if you're curious, you can see the code. There's something called plan evaluation, something in the under the same folder. You can see the evaluation file to see how we write the pre-written evaluation for this agent. And the next part, let's. So previously we just returned plan. Now we want to have a structured output like a JSON format. So we want to copy this return to replace the return plan so that it will return in this format instead of just a natural language, like a random.
One thing, make sure you do this because we run into these issues a lot. Make sure you go back to your terminal and you kill the terminal that's running. So you can do Control-C, because otherwise you'll get an error later that the port is already taken. So do Control-C, kill the terminal, and now we can do the file. So agents.
So Control-C, kill the port, and then paste it, replacing the plan so that it will return in the JSON format.
Yeah. So Christina was very kind to us, and she put in caps lock where we should replace the text. So see how it says here, return plan? Replace that code you just copied in this section.
Yeah, don't have to return here. Did you return?
There we go. Yep.
Yeah. So now we run it again to see the result. How does it differ from previous? Let's run it by activate the virtual environment again and activate it with ADK web command.
So you can see basically what this is saying is return your response exclusively as a single JSON object. So we want that to come back into structured data like JSON because a lot of the time it's just easier to use with applications like this, that structure.
Yeah, so if you want to potentially have present it on the show it on the UI, you have the JSON format. It's very easy for you to visualize the data. And let's go to the web UI, ADK UI. And then select agent planner, making sure you choose the right agent, as previously people choose the wrong agent and it doesn't work. And then let's ask the question, plan the event Boston this weekend. Again, if you don't get response, that maybe because ADK timing out. So if you're waiting for like a minute, it's still not responding, you can ask it to repeat the response again. Maybe you can try repeat if it's not working. Or you can check your output there to see if everything. So if you see everything print out okay, it probably means it is working. And then we can go to the web UI to see the. Yeah, so it is working.
Sorry, there it is.
Now. So now you can see that we have this JSON format output, just as how we instruct agent to do. So if you want to potentially use this for your other application, then you get this structured data. And don't forget to Control-C to kill your.
So do you want to talk about this? The event, you can see it on the side. Right here, right here.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I see what you're saying. Let's just go to the next one.
Wait, are we now? Yeah, we can do this now.
Whatever you want. I didn't realize it wasn't there, so if you want to, you can, but if not, we can skip.
So another thing you can have fun with ADK Web UI is if you go to the, can you close this first?
Oh, yeah.
So you can see we have the event over there, and if you're clicking maybe the second one, And then you can see we have this, because this agent, we have this Google search put in the toolkit. So you can see it is actually, this agent is using this tool. And you can see each stage over there.
We got a hand in the back there. I don't know if anybody can see it.
Yeah, let's continue with the runner. Yeah, so those are just recap for the previous slide that we have the session, state, memory. Can you scroll up? An event, and we have the runner to put them together. So you may wonder, hey, I don't have runner before. How does it work? How can I see everything without runner? Because ADK Web UI, it just providing all those for you. So they have all the default session and everything for you. So you don't have to create your runner if you're just using ADK Web UI. So with Web UI, you can easily play around. You can do the evaluation. You can just see the state. However, you cannot directly integrate this to other backend server, or you just directly deploy it to Cloud Run. So you may need to, if you want to integrate it to the other backend server, you have to use a runner to wrap everything together. So this is how we do it with runner. And let's copy this code to Planner client.
Planner, client. Here we go. Okay, it's in there.
Yeah, so making sure this is a Planner client, you copy this runner so that in this runner, you wrap this session and artifact and everything in it so that you don't rely on ADK Web UI for you. You're creating your own, and you can assigning the session and the memory yourself in the runner. And once we're creating this, let's run it again. Maybe we can kill this and then rerun this command.
All right, kill.
Because now we're not using ADK Web UI, we wrap everything in runner, and runner orchestrate all the session, everything together. So we can just simply run the command to see the agent response. Oh, we have a question over here. Oh, what is it? Yeah, because previously, when we're using the web ADK Web UI, you only create an agent with a model and instruction. There you don't. So ADK UI actually providing the default session and artifact and evaluation, everything for you if you're relying on the ADK Web UI. But if you want to do it programmatically or you want to deploy it, you want to integrate it to the server, you have to use wrap the runner, and so that you can deploy this with runner, the agent with runner, so that you can use it with other backend server or deploy it to the Cloud Run. Yeah, does that make sense?
The runner is the execution engine. So that's what runs everything for you. So you define the agent and the tools that it's going to use, and then the runner kind of orchestrates the process for you. It's an ADK runner.
Yeah, so when we have the command, we can see this JSON output. That is a question to the, that is how our planner do it with the runner. Yeah, so that is our first, we have created our first agent. Congratulations. Yay. Great. Everyone creating your first agent? Having fun with ADK? Yeah, great. So what we just did is we're trying to creating the very simple agent. It's a planner. So it is using the tool called Google Search. It's using Google Search and trying to do the planning for you. And so that and then we trying to play around this agent in the ADK Web UI so that we can see the session, we can do the evaluation in the ADK web UI, and then we also building the runner. Evaluation on how agents doing is like a testing for agent. So what we do is we create an agent and we play around in the ADK web UI, and we play around the evaluation, and then we create a runner. Yes, so this is the very first agent we created. Yeah. So this planner agent, like you can ask questions, you can ask it to do the planning for you. Yeah.
So it's an event planner. So we gave it this tool, Google Search, right? And we said, hey, you're an agent, and you're tasked with generating creative and fun dating plan suggestions. And then we give it all the instructions. So we create that planner. We tested it, right? We checked out the UI. Then we tested it. We asked it different questions. Then we evaluated it to make sure that the answers it's giving us are solid based on that data that we gave it to compare to. And then we created the runner to run it. So ADK has a runner, and that kind of runs everything for you. So we create the agent, and then the runner runs the agent. There's a good explanation here, maybe, if it makes more sense. So you define the agent, the tools that it uses, and then the runner orchestrates the process of fulfilling the user's requests. It manages the session, it handles the flow of the events, the updates, and the state, invokes the underlying model, coordinates. So it does everything for you. The agent, you just define the agent, and then the runner is what tells it how to run, basically. And that's one of the agents that we'll make in the app. So that agent just plans events. It goes, it searches Google, looks at what events are around, comes back and tells us. We tell it what weekend we want, stuff like that, and then it creates an event based on that information.
Yes.
It's inside of our application.
Yeah, you're gonna see how this connects at the very end. This is just at the beginning.
Yeah. Also here, maybe this will be helpful.
Let's just.
Okay. So we have that event planner agent, and it'll work with our other agents that we're going to keep building to create our whole Insta Vibe app. So before we showed that other tab, right, the app here, and it created this event, right, music or whichever one it was, escape the room. So it can create an event for you, and it'll show up here in the app. So that's the first agent in the whole social app. Does that make sense?
We also have some hand on the back so that TA.
Do we have more questions here? Okay.
Runner just orchestrate the things together.
Yes, and we'll cover that.
Yeah, you will see multiple agent in the later tutorial. You can hold the question to the once you do the MCP and A2A, you will have better understanding of how we connect the dot.
Okay, let's make sure.
So,
did I?
Yeah, making sure to kill it, and then let's go to the MCP part. So we have the planning. We plan that what we want to do on the weekend. And then I want to create in the post about what I want to do in the weekend. I want to create an event about what is the event I want to do on the weekend. Is everyone like following like at the MCP step? Yeah? So, MCP is like the universal adapter that you can connect to the API.
Volume, please. Sorry, guys. When you're talking to the TAs and stuff, can you just whisper so we can hear Annie and her beautiful voice and important information? Thank you.
Yeah, so if you look at this diagram over here, like previously we create our first agent, like planner. So we are able to plan an event. But then later on, what if I want to create a post about the event? I want to create an event. And we have those endpoint over there. We have endpoint to creating posts. We have the endpoint to creating the event. And then now I want to use agent to use those endpoint. And how I want to do that is I want to use the MCP to create that wrapper around those endpoint, like in this in this case, imagine like you're in a restaurant, and then you have the kitchen. And in the kitchen, you're preparing some dishes. So you already have those dishes, and then like you have some chef cooking the dishes, and then in the table, like in the restaurant, you have the waitress and waiter and want to get all the dishes from the menu. And then what we have here is we have all those dishes, and we have the listing tool is like listing everything on the menu, and call tool is you can the waiter can know what is the dishes you want to get for the customer. So now we are trying to first creating the wrapper for those endpoint, and we can just.
So if you remember, Christina said like MCP is like tool to agent, right? So we're going to create tools, and that's our menu items, and then we're going to have that wrapper that tells us list these tools.
Yeah, so first we have this wrapper around the creating post so that we are able to creating the post through this adapter, MCP adapter. So we copy this creating post, and what it does is it will translate your input to this parameter, and then like you will make this API call and get the response from creating the post. So let's first copy this code and go to the what is the file?
InstaVibe.
So let's go to InstaVibe, making sure you go to the right. So what I do, I have a
tools, InstaVibe. Okay, see, this has happened to me before. Make sure you're going to the right ones. It's tool, then InstaVibe.py. There we go.
Yeah, don't go to the wrong file.
And you can see it says replace me, create post. So we're putting our create post tool wrapper there.
So that through this wrapper, we can actually connect into the endpoint. Similarly, we copy this for creating event. So we copy this code and we replace the creating the event.
So we're making those two tools, create post and create event, right? So then we'll be able to list those, and then the agent will say, I can use these tools. And just post it right underneath.
So those are, in the restaurant example, those are some dishes you have.
Cool.
And once you have those dishes, you need to let the waiters know what dish I have. You need to have a menu that lists all the dishes you have. That's why you need to have this list tool endpoint, and you need to have call tool endpoint so that waitress can use list tool to know, okay, what are the dishes you have in the kitchen, and then they can choose which dish they want by using the call tool. So let's implement those two key functionality by first creating this list tool. So we first creating this list tool so that the client can use this list tool to getting all the tools you have. So let's copy this. Copy the MCP server, making sure you go to the right file. Like it's under tools, InstaVibe, and MCP server.
So we made our tools, and now we're putting in place how we can list those tools, right? So this we're replacing with list tool.
And next one is call tool, so that clients can choose what tool to use by through this endpoint. So let's copy this call tool.
Great.
Now we have everything, so that it's like in the kitchen, we allow those waiter waitress to know what are the dishes you have, and then they allow what waiter waitress to actually choose the dishes. So we can actually run it. We can try to build this, deploy it by first build the Docker image and then deploy to Cloud Run as what we do before. So let's try copy this to your terminal to build the Docker image, so that later on we can deploy it. And then the client side can use those tools through the URL here once you deploy to the Cloud Run.
Okay, so this sentence actually summarizes it really well. So this function, it receives the tool name and the arguments. Then it finds the corresponding Python wrapper function that we defined. It executes it, and then it returns the result. Does that make sense? Yes, kind of? Okay. I think we include the tool still. Yes.
So early, we're using the ADK and we wrap the Google search. That's the ADK embedded Google search tool. And now we're trying to create a wrapper. It's like, the MCP is like universal adapter. So we're trying to create a toolbox with all the tool in the toolbox. So all the agent at a different place, they can use this toolbox. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to create this wrapper to wrap those create a post endpoint, wrap the create event endpoint so that different agent can using this tool through this MCP universal adapter. Yeah, so later on you will see the example of when we have the prompt and how the agent is going to creating the post and creating event based on the instruction and or using the tool to do the stuff for you. So you will see the live demo soon.
Cool.
So what is the process of building? We're almost
still
there.
pushing, yeah.
Is everyone building the Docker image? Great, building the image. Oh my God.
Oh, that's fun. Okay, if you get that, just go ahead and reauthorize.
Anyone got a reauthorize window? No?
Okay, but it says success here, so let's imagine that it actually did build properly.
Yeah,
I think
let's
we did.
see.
So let's try and deploy now.
Maybe we are lucky.
Yeah.
We got the right timing.
Sometimes that happens. For some reason, the authentication times out. It's odd because we've been using it, but if you go on a longer break or something, like if you're doing this lab later or using the editor later, if anything like that happens, just re-authenticate. It should work.
Now let's deploy the Docker image to Cloud Run. You should see. You can also see the progress in Cloud Run in the Cloud Console. Can you show the?
I want to talk about this agent, like what this agent is doing, because we talked about MCP server, but it's our platform interaction agent. Where is the agent description?
This one?
Yeah, just no, well, this is the server. Yeah, but like talk about what the agent does.
This one, like here, or this is the wrapper.
Because it's platform interaction, so doesn't it interact
yeah, so
with?
the agent is not in this.
Oh,
page.
you're right. It's this one. You're right. Sorry.
And here it's using it.
Yes. Yeah.
But this one is defined in
the server. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Oh, yay, it worked. Okay, great.
Great,
That didn't take that
so
long.
Let's go to the Cloud Run to verify it.
Oh, Lord.
Can you go to the Cloud Run? So if you go to the Cloud Run and then refresh the page.
Oh, my God.
And then if you're scrolling.
Scroll up.
Oh.
No, what do you want to show?
You're able to see the.
Oh, yeah.
So you're able to see this MCP tool server is successfully deployed. And if you click this, and then you can see this URL here. So later our client can connect the server through this URL, like deploy it on the Cloud Run. And you will see this soon in the next section. So let's go to the client side
Well,
to
we need
see.
to export it, no?
Oh, so if wait, you can. If you want to see the URL, you can also run this command to see the URL, or you can go to the Cloud Run to see the URL. So either way works.
Yeah. Well, this will make it so that it's captured. so our agent can see it later. So we can see it in Cloud Run, but we want to run this just so it's captured in our terminal.
Yeah. Let's run it. So now we successfully deployed the server and we're ready to use it from the client side. Everyone's deployed successfully? Yeah, great, great. So let's go to the eighth part, like the agent. So remember previously we have the restaurant example, like we have the kitchen. In the kitchen we have all the dishes, and then we creating the endpoint that's listing the dishes and call the dishes. So now as a waiter or waitress, I'm gonna using those. So in this example, we have the server. Like it has a wrapper to create a post, has a wrapper to create an event, and then when it's actually going to make the has the endpoint to call the create a post, create an event, and we expose those endpoint list tool and call tool so that on the client side it's able to choose. Like it's able to call the list tool and list tool and call tool to use the server. And let's see how the MCP clients connect to server. So what we want to do is we want to copy this code to the client agent or platform MCP client agent file. So making sure you go to the right file, like platform MCP client at agent. And then you replace me fetch tool here.
When you're copy pasting, if you run into an error, check your code, because indentations are really important in Python, so just make sure you're plopping it in the right spot.
Yeah, so in this code, you can see that we have the URL MCP server URL. So this is the URL we just deploy and expose. And then so that's how your client connect to the server. And that's how, like in the kitchen example, a restaurant example, the waiter, waitress know where is the kitchen and what are things there. And then later on is we want to making the tool assigned to the tool so that the client can access all the tooling. So what we want to do is we want to copy the tool to over here so that the client can access all the tools. And now we can try activate our virtual environment and run this, try to interact this application.
Okay, so this agent acts as the client that works with the server, right? So this is running with the ADK framework, and then it's responsible for communicating with the server that we just deployed. So we deployed the server, and now we're making the client, which is our actual agent, our platform interaction agent.
Yeah, so our client is trying. So remember, we have tools that's creating the post. We have the tools that's creating the event, and we're gonna see how the agent's gonna use those tools to answer the question you have. So if I ask agent, so making sure you choose the right one, like the platform MCP client, making sure you choose the right agent. It's not planner anymore. It's MCP client. And then you ask agent question just by copy paste. So now you ask agent to creating the post with this content, and you can see that agent is able to making this creating the post, and then it's creating for you. And on the left-hand side, you can see the event over here. And if you click into this creating post event, you can see that, oh, this agent, it has two tools. It has created event, has created post. So those how we connect through the MCP. And then here you can see the, if you like go left, previous event, like creating the post. Can you go back?
Forward one? This one?
Can you go back?
To the first one?
Yeah, so the first one, like you can see the function calling. It is trying to, so the user input is, hey, I want to creating this post, and you can see this text is over here in the augmentation, like all augments in the parameter. So you can use those to make the API call. And then you can see those are the call, and then this is the response from the API call. And this is the response for it, and this is how you're creating the post. And now we can see the post on our web application. So in the web application, if you refresh it, you can see, hey, we're creating this post over here.
So we had made those tools, right? Create event, create post. We just interacted with our platform agent, asked it, hey, can you create this post for me? And then it appeared in our app, which means it called the right tool.
Yeah, so if you making sure if you have problem opening this web application, you can either find it on the Cloud Run URL, or you can run the command to. Here's the command to find this.
Here.
Where's? Oh, okay.
Run services.
Yeah, so if you couldn't find the web application command, you can try to run this to get the link, or go to the Cloud Run to get the link, so that you can see the event, the post you created on the web application.
I'll run it just in case.
You can create a new
Actually,
one.
yeah, I'll kill it and then just do a run. Yay. Cool.
Okay, whatever. Can you run this again? Because you need to open this. No,
Open what?
this one.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's try activate the web UI again. So making sure you choose the right one, and try copy the request in here. Here's a request. It's about how you want to creating the event. So this is the event you want to creating, and you copy this, and you ask the MCP client to creating this event for you. Making sure you choose the right agent again, and then you're trying to creating this event. And here you can see we have this create event. So the agent is able to choose the right tool and then doing this for you. Again, you can see all the detail from the left-hand side. If you click it, you can see that agent now is using the create event, not creating post. And if you go to the web application, and then you refresh the page and you go to the very last of the event. Hey, Debbie.
Yeah, I'm refreshing. It's just taking a sec.
Okay, sure.
There it is.
Yeah, it's over here. So this is the event we created. If you click into it, you can see this is the event you created with the location and everything in it. So that's how we use the agent. To summarize, we ask agent to create a post, create an event, and the agent is able to using the right tool and actually creating the post, creating event to you, and you can see it on the web application. And we've done everything through MCP. So we wrap the endpoint through the wrapper, and then we're creating the list tool, call tool, so that clients can use the endpoint to access the tooling. Yeah, so that's the MCP part.
Yeah. Fun fact. Oh, go ahead.
So everyone following? Great.
This is a fun fact. You can see this says 19 days ago. That's because in our code, it says like May 25th or something. But if you change it in your code, it'll say the proper date. Okay. All right. We're going to take a little break, like 5 minutes or something. Okay. Okay, y'all. It's been a journey. So we're going to take a small break. Let's do 9 minutes because it's 12:51. So be back here at 1 and we'll start the second half, okay? It's 3:51. Thank you. Wait. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay, 1 minute. Tell your friends.
Hello, 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 hello. Wish we had more TA.
Yeah? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, there's a good amount of people in here.
It's crazy. What happened to this one?
I killed it because at the end it says the instructions say to kill it.
Next part,
Kill it here.
we're doing this.
We create these tools for the agent to access the graph data.
Okay.
And yeah, as Python functions. That's what graph query is, right? Graph query is for the graph database. Spanner. Okay.
When are you gonna do the dance?
I think we can see when it's taking a little while. It's like, oh, it's taking a little while.
Now is the time.
Okay, folks, 4 o'clock. Can everybody hear me okay with this? Okay. Great. Okay, so let's just level set a little. We're gonna go back to the architecture just so we can see what we've done so far. Okay, so we made our event planner, right? It gets the events from Google and then gives them to us and tells us and creates events, right? Then we made our platform integration agent using the MCP server, building the MCP client, and this one automatically creates a post and event invites on the platform. Okay? So now we're going to move on to our next agent, which is, remember Christina was talking about those loop agents, the most complicated one. So we're going to make that agent next. So let's go to step 9. Okay, great. So our agents so far, they can plan those outings and they can interact with the platform, create posts, things like that. But now we want to have it be really personalized. So this is where that creepy agent comes in, right? The social profiling agent that listens to what all your friends are doing because we're busy. We're busy. It's hard to keep up with our friends, all the stories, the posts, all that stuff. So this is going to help us do that. So in order to do that, we're going to leverage that spanner graph database relationship with the nodes and the lines. We're going to leverage that so we can see the relationships and use it in here. Okay, so first, you can probably see a pattern here. We need to create tools for our agent to access the graph database, right? So we're going to create these Python functions. This function has a few tools, right? So first, get person attended events. This is going to fetch the events attended by a specific person. Then get person ID by name, fetches the person ID for that name. Then get person post, gets the posts written by that person. And then fetches friends for a specific person. So those are the 4 tools and the 4 functions that we're going to create. And we're going to go ahead and put that into our agents social instavibe.py, right? So in the social agent. So go ahead and paste that in. So those are the tools that we're creating for our agent to get all that information.
So
And that file should be empty, right? So, or below the, you pasted it?
oh, it's not empty.
Social, it's not empty? Oh, it doesn't say replace though, right?
It's the very end.
Oh, place it at the very end. Oh, sorry, it literally says it right there, you guys.
So
Post it at the end of the file. Okay, so now that we've posted it, let's talk about our workflow agent, right? So this is,
Sorry, I have some trouble with the.
oh,
I'm sorry.
okay.
Yes.
So go back to the lab and go to the architecture thingy. Okay, so let's talk about this, right? We can see this is a loop. So we're going to create our loop agent so that it can manage the workflow for us. So you can see there's like a bunch of agents in here. Profile agent, summary agent, check agent, and then there's a check condition here, and then our root agent. So we're going to create that loop, okay? And we're gonna start with the profile agent, and we'll end at the root agent. It'll all make sense at the end. Okay, so the workflow agent orchestrates the other agents. Does that make sense? It tells them what to do. Okay, great. So we're going to create this loop agent. So let's start by defining the sub-agents, right? So let's start with our planner, our profile agent, sorry. So there's our profile agent here, and it says this is an agent to answer questions about this person's social profile. So we're going to put that in our agent.py where it says replace for profile agent. And then it has the instructions in there. You're a helpful agent who can answer user questions about this person's social profile. Make sense? That's what this agent does, and we're creating it as the first step. Okay, so once we pasted that in there, the next agent will take that collected profile information and it'll loop eventually, and it's going to generate a summary. So that's our summary agent. Does that make sense? You look at your friend's profile, or you don't look, your agent looks at the profile and collects all the things, and then they summarize it into a nice little package for you. That's a summary agent. So we're going to take this code and replace for summary agent in that same file. Okay? Generate a comprehensive social summary as a single cohesive paragraph. We love it. And then the instructions are kind of very detailed of like, here's how you would do it, here's what I want you to do.
I think I have trouble pasting. Let me refresh it. Is that okay?
Okay, yeah. Is it maybe too zoomed in?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, we're just copying, pasting. Just make sure you copy paste in the right place. Okay, so we're doing that first one. And then the second one is replace for summary agent. So profile agent, summary agent. Find me the profile and then summarize it. The next agent is how do we know when that loop is supposed to stop? Otherwise, it'll just do endless loops, and like Christina said, you'll get a big bill, which we've all seen the Reddit posts, and we don't want that, right? So in order to avoid that from happening, we're going to add this check agent, and it's going to do exactly that. Check if everyone's social profile that I want is summarized and has been generated, and then send me the output. Is it complete or is it pending? So that agent's going to check, and then it has this output key, summary status. That's the output. And it's important because in a second, we're going to talk about the check condition. So go ahead and place that in replace for check agent. Am I yelling? Maybe, huh? OK. Thank you. I have a loud family, y'all. I'm Latino. We yell all the time, so I never know. OK, did we paste it? OK, great. OK, so now we are going to add a check condition that looks at the summary status, the output of that check agent that says like, yep, it looks good, right? And it tells the loop agent whether to continue or to stop. Reminder, that loop agent is the one that orchestrates the whole thing. So the status that you're looking for is escalate equals false. It's like, nope, that we're not done, continue, or escalate equals true. Okay, go ahead, we're done, let's wrap it up. Okay, so let's put that check condition into that same file, replace for check condition. And you can see it's pulling the summary status out of there. Okay, great. Okay, wonderful. So before we talked about state being the short-term memory, Christina's 1 hour short-term memory. So in our scenario, the loop agent that we'll create will orchestrate this so that the summary agent will store that information in the summary, and this check agent will give summary status. And that will be in the state, the short-term memory, right? And that allows the information to persist across these iterations, right? Okay, but then the loop agent doesn't give us the final summary from the state when it finishes. So we're gonna add those callbacks. Remember what Christina said? She said the callbacks is like, I wanna manipulate, I wanna do stuff in between to make sure that my output comes out as I want. So if you go up a little bit, you can see here it says modify output. So that's what that callback is gonna help us do. It's gonna modify the output a little bit so we can just clean up the message. So we're gonna inject that custom logic to execute, in our case, at the end of the loop to clean up the final message. So it's called an after agent callback. And we're gonna call ours modify output after agent. So if you scroll down a little, yeah. So it's using an after agent callback, and ours is called modify output after agent. Okay, and that's gonna take the final summary and give it to us in the way that we want it. So in that same file, we're gonna replace modify output after agent with this code. You can see it says, like, if you look at the code, it says, like, construct the final output content object to be sent back. Okay, how's everyone doing? Did we get that? Does that make sense? Right, we're making all these agents in a loop, then we're checking if they did the right thing. We have the check condition. If they did, we modify the output with that callback. Yes. Everyone alive and well. Sure, yeah. So the first agent, the profile agent, actually, let's show a cool thing. Can we show how Gemini helps us understand the code? So something that's cool, and it's, can someone back me up here? I think this is true. Gemini Code Assist is for everybody. You don't have to have a license. It's free. Wow, the F word, y'all. We never say that. Okay, so we can open Gemini, our little chat there.
It's already code assist. Can you explain this?
Okay, great. So you can select, did you see how she opened that? Can you just show it one more time? So do you see that little star right there?
Yeah, so
Gemini
there's
Code
a button like over there. It's called Gemini Code Assist. And then you click it. You can see there's some example thing you can do. You can generate or fix or explain this, creating the test. So we can try explaining this, and then it give you some option over there.
Yeah. Can you do the social InstaVibe that one? Because he's asking how it pulled the graph database. Social InstaVibe. So in the instructions, you'll see it says like fetches events attached by a specific person using graph query. So that's a call to that graph database. So it pulls that information in and then uses it, the profile agent uses it to then get person attended events, right? It's pulling from that database. Does that make sense?
I'm asking, explain social InstaVibe. And the Gemini is answering?
Yeah, exactly. So the profile agent has all this information, and then the summary agent will take that and create a summary. Yeah, exactly. Great.
Yeah, so if you have questions, you can ask Gemini Code Assist, say, oh, explain this file for me, and you will explain some.
Yeah, so if you want like a very in-depth, tonight or tomorrow, Friday night, when you're bored, you don't know what to do with your life, open up this lab. Use Gemini Code Assist. It'll explain this to you. Also, Gemini proper will do this. If you use other tools, they'll also probably do that for you. But it's a good way to understand exactly what the code is doing.
Oh no, Gemini is not on instruction. But if you Google Gemini, or you can see there's a icon over there. You click it, and there's a code assist, and yeah, you can take a picture if you want.
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't know, if you want to remember how to get to this, you can Google it, right? Or ask Gemini proper, it'll tell you. Okay, so that's what we did. So now we are past the callbacks. Here we go. Okay, so now we're gonna define our root loop agent. I don't know why it has like 12 names, but it's the workflow agent, right? The one that's gonna orchestrate the whole thing, the one at the beginning of that architecture. So it orchestrates the sub-agents. It tells them, hey, go in this order. Go profile agent, go summary, go check condition. Check condition doesn't look good, go again, right? And it'll orchestrate that to keep going until we get like, okay, we've hit max iterations, or we get the correct escalate equals true. So let's define that loop agent. So we can copy this code and put it into that same social.
Don't know why.
Volume, please, library voices. Don't make me sing. All right, seriously though, can you quiet down everybody, thank you. Okay, so replace for root agent in that file. Great, okay. And so that's gonna tell everybody what to do. It's like the personal assistant, right? Planning your event. So now let's launch the ADK web server. So go back to your terminal, launch the UI again, so we can play with it.
What's wrong with this?
I think it's the other one, no?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, there we go, here you go. So now we're gonna test our social profiling agent. Preview on our port.
Oh, okay. Do we have it?
Okay, and make sure you select the social agent, right? Great, wonderful. Okay, so we're gonna ask it now, tell me about Mike and Bob.
Oh, sorry.
Tell me about Mike and Bob. So after it responds, this is going to take a little bit longer, right? Because we've got a lot of tools. It's a loop. It's taking a little time to determine what to do and how to do it. So, okay, I stand corrected. It's not going to take a little longer, apparently. Sometimes it might, though. So if yours takes a little longer, don't fret. It's going to be fine. Also, hey, people in other rooms, I see you. I see you there. How's everybody doing? Good? Great. Y'all look great from here. Y'all look great. Okay. So you can see it gave us our response, right? I have the IDs. You can see it saying get person ID by name. I have the IDs. Boom. Scroll. Scroll. Okay. Mike is a software engineer at Google. Funny how that works. Okay. And then we get the completed. We got Mike. Okay. And scroll down. Maybe it's still working on Bob. Let's check out the event tab. Where?
Professional.
Oh, it got Bob. Sorry, I'm ahead of myself. Okay, so can we see that? It got Mike and it got Bob. So it pulled both of their information and now it's giving me a summary and it's telling me I completed this, right? Because that's what our check condition does. So Mike does this, Bob does that. Harvard professor specializing in American Revolution, very cool. And it gives me a little blurb about them. Okay, wonderful. Although, why does it say further information would be needed?
It's different with agent. Agent is like it's non-deterministic. So.
But it's not getting person friends and person attended event, is it? Can you check here? Let's check. I'm going to check the events to see like what it pulled through, because I'm seeing it's pulled the user profile, but is it not pulling? Here, go to previous profile. Got person ID. Okay, now next. Next. Yeah. See, it's not pulling. It's not invoking other agents.
Should I try it again?
Yeah. Okay. So this is fun, but it's the reality of working with frameworks and deploying things, right? So this, it worked, right? We can see that it worked. It gave us information about Mike and Bob, but it actually told us, like, hey, further information regarding their friends, posts, or event attendance would be needed to find their potential shared ground. So that tells me, wait a second, I'm gonna check this event tab because I think it's only getting some information about their profiles. It's not using the full loop that I want it to use. So we're gonna run it again because sometimes it just needs a little attention, all right? So, did anybody get the full summary? You did, wonderful. We have witnesses. Okay, wonderful. So yeah, sometimes you just need to run it again and it'll work. So let's go ahead and run it again. Hopefully we can get the right summary. That's why this thing over here is so helpful because you can tab through and it'll tell you, here's what I pulled, and it didn't pull everything that I wanted.
I don't know. Give it a try.
Okay. Okay, so it's telling you exploring more. So let's rerun it. So relaunch the ADK web server. Okay, so we're gonna kill the server and then we're gonna rerun it to see if it'll work. But we have some people that it worked for, right? Other rooms? Oh yeah, as long as Sassafras, did it work for you? Did anybody get the full summary? Nobody's listening to me.
Yeah,
all right.
Hey, Debbie, it works.
Yeah?
It works.
Yay, okay, woo! So now we can show everybody. It worked, see? Get person post, get person friends, get attended events. And then it did it again because we asked it about 2 people. And then it gave us a summary about things that we should do, Central Park Picnic and Charity Bake Sale. We love that stuff. And their friend network, right? Maybe we invite Alice, Diana, and Ian because they're friends. Does that make sense? Okay, wonderful. They share some common ground. I love that. Okay, so this is really cool, actually. It's kind of cool that it failed, because then you can see it told you, like, actually, I need more information. So that told me that it didn't use all my tools, so I could run it again. Okay, does that make sense? Can I get a woo? All right, wonderful, great. So it told us about Mike and Bob. We looked at the events and everything, and that's our workflow agent and the agents inside of it. So that's step 9. Remember to kill your terminal. Do Control-C. Kill your terminal before you go to the next step. I feel like I'm yelling. Okay. Okay. So, A2A. Who remembers what A2A is? Agent-to-agent communication, yes, something Google is not always great at, is naming things. They really did a good job on this one. Because it's perfect, right? It's agent-to-agent because it allows agents to talk to each other, right? So it's an easy way to remember that. So we've built all our agents, but they're kind of like in their own little bubble, in their own world, right? And we want them to talk to each other. So in order to do that, we use the A2A protocol. And that protocol, if you remember, it allows the agents to discover other agents. You can scroll up a little bit. Boop. Discover other agents and learn their capabilities via those agent cards. Those agent cards are like a little LinkedIn profile for the agents, right? Here's what I can do. Here's who I am. Then they can communicate, and then they can collaborate to complete the different tasks. So we have our agent cards, and we need to enable A2A for our InstaVibe agents. So we have our planner agent, our platform interaction agent, and our social agent, and we want them to be able to talk to each other. In order to do that, we have to wrap each one with an A2A server component. We're getting loud again. Clap once if you can hear me. Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Great. Okay, so the server is going to expose the agent card, then listen for the tasks, and then manage the task execution, right? So here, you do this, you do that. Okay, so let's do this. We're gonna add it first to our planner agent. This is a lot of rinse and repeat, right? So we're gonna add a class definition for the planner agent, and then we're going to define the server startup logic for that class definition and for that agent. And then we're gonna do the same thing for the following agents. So let's start with the planner agent first. Add this class definition under imports. Nobody saw that, right? Under imports, agents, planner, planner, agent, right?
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. So put it under the imports and paste it in there. Wonderful. Okay, now the A2A server logic, startup logic, right? Okay, so this defines the agent card. If you look at the code, it defines the agent card right there, right? Then it configures the A2A server, starts it up, and links it to our planner agent wrapper. So let's go ahead and paste that at the end of agent planner A2A server.py.
Oh, sorry. I need a space. Great.
Cool. You did it at the end, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Great. So now that we've made that, right, we're enabling A2A for that planner agent. Let's test it out. Test it out locally to make sure that it serves us that agent card. Our agent throws out its LinkedIn profile so we know that it's working. So run the command in your first terminal. Boom, it's running. And then once that finishes running, open up another terminal in the same terminal, another terminal. And we're going to do a curl command to see if it gives us the agent card. And what should happen is the JSON representation of the agent card. Yay, there it is. OK, wonderful. So that's the agent card for our planner agent. Cool, so we know it's working, right? It all worked. So let's go back to our first terminal, kill it so we don't confuse anything. And now we have the server logic in there. Now we can build our image and then deploy the planner agent. So go ahead and build the image.
Like after, how about deploy?
Yeah, for deploy.
Oh my god. About deploy, this is fast.
Yeah. It's building
Oh
the
my God,
image.
make my heart beat.
Well, this is just building the image, no? Yeah, it's building, okay. Okay, who's building the image? Okay. Other rooms? Are you building the image? Wonderful. Dave, hello, Dave. Great. How's it go? How are we doing on that progress? We building?
Oh.
Do you mind?
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Okay, it's still building.
Somehow you switched the direction.
I know, I don't know what happened. I think really. It's okay, it's a nice little taste of je ne sais quoi.
It's almost done. Almost done.
You're hard. You don't have to do it if you don't.
Let's do it. Invite someone.
Yeah, I'm like, if you're deploying, you should dance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or stand up, do it together.
Yeah.
Oh, it's ready.
Nice. Okay, so we built our image, so now let's deploy. Let's let it go for like 20 seconds and see if it, you know.
Yeah, maybe it's fast.
Okay, who is deploying? Wonderful. Okay, so you know, sometimes deploying takes a little time. Sometimes, I think we have some deployments that take like up to 10 minutes in this lab. The last one I think takes up to like 10 minutes. So we have a little fun thing that we like to do on our team. It's called the deployment dance. Does anybody else like to dance while they're deploying? No? Put the cat.
Ooh.
Okay. Deployment dance. So if you're deploying,
Who want to do deployment dance together?
yeah, you should stand up and do the
Stand up.
deployment dance if you want. We're not gonna force you, but look at this cat dancing up here. Deployment dance. Deployment dance. Deployment dance. Is this secondhand embarrassment for you guys? Am I embarrassing you over here? No? Okay, no one wants to do the deployment dance. Well,
You should sing.
I thought this was gonna be really compelling, to be honest with y'all. No one in the other, Dave! Deployment dance, deployment dance. Huh? You have stage fright? We don't have to get on
You
stage.
can just stand up like on your seat.
We did the cat? You can't beat the cat. No, but join the cat. Oh no, the page. The page doesn't want to do the deployment dance. Okay, well, if at some point, I'm not even gonna look, but if you want to do the deployment dance, please do it, because we're just here to have a good time. Look at this cat. This definitely is AI, right? Because cats don't dance like that. None that I've seen, at least. But you know, some cats, maybe if they grow up on the streets, know how to dance. Know how to dance. Okay, are we still deploying? Let's check.
Yay!
Yay, we're done! Okay, that's over, y'all.
That's
I
a
promise
mag-
you won't ever have to see that again.
That's a magic of
Okay,
deployment.
sorry about that. Thank you. What a kind person up here. Okay, so now let's verify that the deployed service is running and serving the agent card, the same thing that we did before, right? But the difference is that this time it's served from the Cloud Run instance. Okay, there we go. So we can see it's working. Then we're going to do it for our platform. Oh, was that the first one? Yes, it was. Sorry. We're going to do it for the platform interaction agent now. So we're going to repeat the same process. Add the wrapper class to the file, right? Platform MCP client / platform agent. Then define the server setup with the agent card in that the A2A server.py. Just make sure you're in the right files. Rinse and repeat, right? Okay. And in the lab, it says like this needs the MCP server URL because that we set up the MCP server, right? Yeah, but which one?
Are you doing the A2A?
Yeah, this one, define the platform interaction agent. Yeah, okay. For platform MCP client. Yeah. So it needs the MCP server URL, so it has an environment variable in there that's going to pull that in. And then once again, we can build the container image and deploy the agent as its own Cloud Run service with no cat or dance from us. But if anybody else wants to do it, just saying. We got one.
Yay!
Yay! Deployment dance. Deployment dance. Yeah, on stage.
Let's play some music.
I know.
We should play some music from
What if
outside.
I wish I had brought more swag?
We can grab the. Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so we're building the image again, and then we're going to deploy. Go ahead and do that by your merry selves, and then we're going to do the same thing for the social agent, right? Enable A2A for our social profiling agent. Add the wrapper into social agent.py under the imports, and then define the server setup and the agent card in A2A server.py.
We're still building the image.
Yes, I'm just saying what's coming next. I know we're still building the image and the deployment dance and all that. Okay. We're actually doing really good on time. How's everybody doing energy-wise? Good, enjoying ourselves? Wonderful. Yeah, the platform agent is the one that creates the posts and the event. So we have the event planner agent that pulls all the information. Then the platform agent creates the posts and the event. And then the social agent pulls in all the people and all their information. Come here. What?
So when you say post events, are we talking like programming language, or are we talking about like literally the
Oh no, like in the app. Remember, we have like the events on the side. Would you mind opening the InstaVibe app? Yeah. That one, yeah. Yeah. So it'll post the event. Remember we made this, I got the cutest little void baby, I'm gonna name him Abyss. So the agent posted that for us to our app, and then it created that event that we were just in. So that's what that agent does. And then the next one is like, we show the orchestrator and how it all works together. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Chill.
Yeah.
You're doing amazing.
I'm so hot. These lights are hot.
What's your heartbeat right now?
Probably high.
Oh my
I'm screaming. I'm like this, that.
Passion.
Yeah. I get excited.
Should we play some music? Like last time, I think they have some music.
Sure. Okay, just a question. Who's like deploying the platform integration agent right now? Okay, and then, yeah, cool. So we're just gonna put a little music on, let you do the social agent, and then we'll come back, because that's the end of step 10, right? So build, deploy, check for the agent card, all that good stuff. Can we get some music, DJ? Thank you.
It's ready.
Deployment dance!
It's ready. It's ready.
That was good. Okay, so do the social one. Orchestrator. Is that what we just did? No, we did the A2A, right? Yeah, we did A2A. Okay, so everybody has A2A set up, agent to agent. Checked the agent cards, did it for all 3 agents. Not yet? Almost there? Almost there. Who has finished that? Okay, a few folks. Okay. Okay, let's give it another 1 minute. Also, is anybody else warm? A little warm? I wonder if we can. Do you know if we can put the blinds down a little bit? Yeah. Just like halfway, maybe?
I'm gonna grab some water.
Okay.
I'll be back in.
Okay, we're gonna put the blinds down a little. Yeah. Yeah, I'm really warm up here. Yes, fabulous.
Yeah, we have them.
So warm in here.
Great.
I know. No, this building is so nice. Can we get an agent to put the blinds down? That's nice. Thanks, Tony.
Thank you.
Are you using A2A? He's like, what the hell?
Next workshop.
Yeah.
We ADK this place.
Yeah. We'll name our agent Tony. Okay, great. So let's move on to our orchestrator agent. So much like we had like that loop agent in our social profiling agent that like told everybody what to do in the loop, we have an overall orchestrator agent, right? Our root agent that's going to do the same thing pretty much. So we have our planner, our platform, and our social agents, but they're running as independent services. They're A2A enabled, and they're on Cloud Run. But the final piece is making that orchestrator agent so they can all talk to each other. That agent will tell them what to do. So it'll receive user requests, right, from our clients up there, a little laptop, go through the app. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Thought he needed to talk to me. Okay. And then figure out which agents are needed to fulfill the desired request, right? So you'll see later we say, do this thing for me. And we say it should use the planner agent and the social profiling agent. Or do this other thing. It should use the platform integration agent and the event planning agent. So we can see how it uses the different agents and how the orchestrator agent decides which ones need to be used. For this workshop, just to save a little time, we're going to do the orchestrator agent locally. Okay, so just FYI in case you're wondering. Okay, let's get into it. So let's add some logic for the orchestrator agent to handle the registration of the agents that it discovers. So it stores the connection details from the agent cards that come up for each agent. So let's put that in agents orchestrate host agent.py. Replace reg agent card, registration agent card, right? Register agent card. Okay, then we're going to define the agent itself within ADK. And these are the tools that we're going to give it. list remote agents to get information about each of the agents I have, and then send the task, which is the A to A function to delegate that work. So go ahead and put the next code in orchestrate host agent under replace me create agent. And same file. OK. And the core logic lives in the instructions. What are the instructions? That's a great question. I knew you were going to ask that. The instructions are right here, right? So that's what's going to tell the orchestrator agent what to do. So you can see it says, like, you're an expert AI orchestrator. Your primary responsibility is to intelligently interpret user requests, plan the necessary sequence of actions if multiple steps are involved, and delegate them to the most appropriate specialized remote agents. I'm reading this from the code, right? You do not perform the tasks yourself, but you manage their assignment, their sequence, and can monitor their status. So these are the instructions for our orchestrator agent, and then it goes into the core workflow and decision making. So let's go ahead and copy this again into that host agent, replace me instructions. Good. OK. And now we're going to test the whole system, right? Let's see if it's orchestrating correctly. So we're going to use the dev UI like we've been using. And it's going to communicate with all our different agents on Cloud Run. So go ahead and copy this next piece of code and paste it in your terminal and run it. Again, open the port or refresh the page if you have it open. And then underneath, make sure you select the orchestrator agent, orchestrate agent in the UI. Boom. Yeah, refresh, right? Make sure you refresh, start a new session. OK, orchestrate agent. And then we have a complex task for it. So you can see you're an expert event planner for a user named Diana. Your task is to design a fun and personalized night out. And here's all the information. And you can see up top it says, like, this example should involve the social agent and the planner agent. So go ahead and paste that in there, and let's see what response we get. And just like before, it should tell us like which ones it's using. And if this happens, I mean, this is kind of a bigger call, right? So let's give it a little bit more time. But if it doesn't work, we can just repeat. Oh, no events coming up. I know, it's calling. It just times out. It doesn't like send it. Maybe ask it to repeat the plan. Another second. OK.
This orchestra, right?
Yeah. Is anybody getting a response here?
Yeah. You just have to wait a little because it gives you an output on the console first before you get home.
Yes. So that's the thing. Sometimes the console will tell you, right? And it'll say like, OK, and we know it worked. But for some reason, it doesn't show up in the UI. And so we're not really sure why. This is a fairly new framework and all different things that we're using. So sometimes we have to repeat, or sometimes we have to like refresh or kill it and then redeploy.
That command you ran had a couple of different steps, different to before.
Yes. Yeah. It's a more complex thing. So it's normal that it'll take a little longer. It's just maybe after like 90 seconds, 2 minutes. Try again. Oh boy, that's so fun. I love it when that happens. I think we only had that happen to one person in Boston. We did Boston on Wednesday. Twice. OK. I'm not sure what. Just try again.
So I tried already 2 times and 2 times I received the resource.
Yeah, OK. Let me ask. There's only one person that got that last.
It worked for me. You just can't kill it.
And redeploy? OK, wonderful. Sorry? It worked? Wonderful. Oh, sorry. Can we get a TA over here, please?
Yeah, you can see that we have the result in the console over here. And we have all the action, like we have all the console result, and we get the 200, and we can give it a try. Yay!
Oh, it worked. Yay. So yeah, I can help with that. And then sends task, and then says, okay, I have the profile summaries. And can you scroll down a little more? Great. I have 3 potential plans, right? So we know that it worked because it's giving us the output that we wanted. And then scroll down a little bit more. It gives us the JSON. Wonderful. And then, is that it? Yeah. Scroll down all the way. Yeah, sure. There we go. Okay, great. Wonderful. Yay. And again, if you want to check it in the events, you can see if it's calling the right agent. Yay. OK, now there's a second example, right? And that one should use the platform integration agent. So go ahead and refresh this, start a new session, and then try that second example.
So I'm sending another prompt, and you can see the responses here in the console over here. And here we have the.
Yeah, I've set up the event.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And yeah, we can also see the event over here.
Yeah.
With every step.
Yay, send
Yay.
task. Yay, it worked. Lovely. OK, and then we should actually be able to go to our InstaVibe app. Remember, we said like it's good to keep it open, but also you know how to get the URL from Cloud Run. So go ahead to the InstaVibe app, and we should be able to see that event that was just created in the app. Vienna, was it the Vienna one? Yeah, Vienna Concerts and Castles. Yay, 8 days from now. Wonderful, so it means we can still go.
Great.
OK, awesome. Does everybody get how that works now? How the different, we built a bunch of agents. I know it was a journey, but we built a bunch of agents, and then we built an orchestrator, and the orchestrator tells everybody what to do, and then it gives us these outputs. Wonderful. OK, we're almost there, y'all. Even though I'm having so much fun, I don't want this to end. Should we do another 3 hours?
And this deployment dance.
Yeah. Nervous laughter. 3 hours of deployment dance. OK, so kill your terminal. Let's go on to the final step here. OK, so we've run our agents on Cloud Run, and we tested the orchestrator locally, right, using the UI. But for our production scenario, we always say it's great to use something more robust, scalable, that's managed, right? So this is where Vertex AI Agent Engine comes in. An Agent Engine, Christina talked about this before, is just a fully managed way to deploy agents easily on Vertex AI. So we're going to go ahead and do that. It's just to show you that there's another way that you can deploy this, and it's using Agent Engine. So let's deploy our orchestrator agent to Agent Engine. And just note, Google itself doesn't have like a implementation yet. So Christina actually wrote this implementation script, just so you know. One is probably coming soon. We don't know. We can't make any promises. But just know that this is like one that she wrote out. OK, so let's go ahead and execute this command to deploy the orchestrator agent to Agent Engine. And it has that remote agent addresses in there, and that's where it's pulling the URLs of our other agents, right? OK. So this is the one that can take up to 10 minutes sometimes. So you're welcome to dance, or obviously go grab food or anything else. No food yet, sorry. No food, only dance. Only dancing. No, but water, perhaps, if you need to go to the restroom, you can go ahead and do that. Okay.
I think it's the deployment that takes longer.
Isn't that what we're doing?
Yeah, no.
Deploy?
Oh, that's true.
No?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was.
Well, we didn't build an image or anything.
Still much or?
It hurts?
Yeah, I was a little bit too hungry.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're almost there. Or if you want to go get
No, we
a
should
snack while
play
it's
some
deploying. Okay.
Should we play some music?
Sure. Yeah, I'm
Okay. Here.
DJ, if you want to play some music again, this deployment takes a little bit more time.
Thank you.
right, fam. Okay, who was able to deploy that onto Agent Engine? Wonderful. Okay. So as we said, Agent Engine is part of Vertex AI, and something else that's cool about it that we'll look at a little bit later is that it gives you observability, right? So it has this tracing feature, so that'll be something that we can see. It'll tell us like how long different things took, so we'll take a look at that in a sec. But first, okay, so we have our orchestrator agent, right? It's on Agent Engine platform, and our application, our InstaVibe application, needs to be able to talk to it, right? We need them to communicate. Instead of talking to that ADK dev UI, the web app is going to make remote calls to Agent Engine, to the endpoint. So first, we need to modify our InstaVibe application code so that it can initialize Agent Engine, the client, and it's going to use a unique ID, right, of the deployed orchestrator agent. And that's required so that we target the correct agent instance on the platform. So go ahead to your InstaVibe introvert ally.py and replace the replace me initiate agent engine. And you can see here our environment variable there that retrieves the agent engine ID. So go ahead and put that in there. OK, so we have our planned user flow right in the app with the agent, which is like first generate the recommended plan, and then second ask the user to confirm before the agent actually posts the event to the platform, which is we'll show you and you'll see it's like a little form. You select your friends, add a date, you put the city, and then you do confirm plan. So since our InstaVibe app is running on Cloud Run and our orchestrator agent, all right, our orchestrator agent is running on Agent Engine. They're separate services, right? So the web app needs to make those remote calls to Agent Engine. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's update the code that makes the initial call to generate the plan recommendation in that same introvert ally.py where it says replace me query remote agent get plan. And then next, we'll update the code that handles the user's confirmation when you click that confirm plan button. So put that in replace me query remote agent for confirmation in that same introvert ally.py. OK.
Can I do the index?
Oh, OK. Yeah, make sure your indents are right. Otherwise, that will not be fun. OK, so our web applications roots, they need access to the functions. So just we're going to make sure that the necessary functions from that introvert ally.py are imported in the Flask roots file. So go ahead and run and add that import. Sorry. We're going to, yeah. Yes. Add that import. Replace me to add endpoint. This is an InstaVibe ally-_roots. OK, and then we're going to add that prototype feature into InstaVibe in InstaVibe templates base.html. Replace me link to introvert ally, which is just going to make it so that in the UI we see a little button that says introvert ally that we can click on to bring us to that form. OK, and before we can redeploy, we just need this specific resource ID for the orchestrator agent that we deployed. So we're going to retrieve that through this helper Python script. So just go ahead and execute these next commands in the terminal. And this will capture the Agent Engine endpoint ID to then finally redeploy that InstaVibe web application with that agent ID. Yeah, cool. Worked. OK, and then OK, and then we'll rebuild the application image and deploy the new version to Cloud Run. This shouldn't take too long, maybe like 2 minutes. Funny question. Is this the longest lab that anyone has ever done? No? No. No? Wow. This is the longest lab I've ever done. Oh yeah, I think you're all doing great. I'm just saying that because the amount of content that you're forcing into your minds right now is a lot. So be kind to yourselves, and you can see how in-depth it is. You get to see like agents and apps and how it all comes together in agent engine and A to A, and then you can go home and tell your families about it, you know?
How long have you been working?
This? Few weeks.
Yeah.
Few weeks. Yeah, it's like something new comes out every week pretty much at this point. So
you can start to create a post or like create an event with this agent.
Yeah.
Play around. Like in this weekend, say, hey, what I want to do with my friend. Should I create a post? Or
oh yeah, you should try it.
should I do the social listening on my friends?
Yeah, should I stalk my friends? No, it's good. It's a good way to keep up with your friends. Can we have a TA here? I think we have a question here. Do you have a question?
I was just saying, should record the event, so speaking so fast and I'm on there.
Huh?
I said you should record this entire session, so it's like speaking so fast.
Oh yes, I know. We are considering making a YouTube video of this. Would anybody like that? Yes. You're like, please. Yeah, so we were thinking of doing that because, yes, it's great to like look back on it, right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Especially next week if they change.
Well, funny you mentioned that because we've been having a great time. There's like new versions that come out. So we did this event on Wednesday, and today things already changed. Or sorry, Tuesday. So things already changed. There's never a dull moment. This is AI, you know, the bleeding edge. Always something that starts with an I. Always, always bleeding. Yes. We're always bleeding. Yeah. Okay, so it's deploying. I thought this one took less time, but clearly I don't know anything. So once it finishes, we'll go to the last step. Okay, so next what we're gonna do when this finishes is we're gonna test the whole thing, the whole thing, right? With the UI. We'll open the
Yay.
Oh, let's do it now.
Yay.
Okay, so go to your InstaVibe app, right? And just click refresh. And go to the home page. Okay, so this is a good sign because it says introvert ally up there. So that means at least the HTML is working. So go ahead and click on that. Click on introvert ally. And here's our form. Oh my God, I want to hang out with my friends. Maybe Alice and Bob? Do we like Alice and Bob?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hang out with Alice and Bob. Let's select the date. Maybe this weekend. Are you busy this weekend? Can we hang out with Alice and Bob this weekend? Okay, we'll hang out with them on Saturday. And what location do we want to do?
Boston?
Let's do Boston. Let's see.
Boston?
Okay. Submit the Hangout request, right? So that's that first step.
So they're going to receive a request.
And now it says your personalized plan is being generated. And you can see on the right, this is the live log of what's happening. Okay, I understand the request, right? It involves multiple steps. Let me do all this stuff. Another fun fact, if you get a red box that says there's no data, select different friends. Or like a different date or a different city, right? Because sometimes in the data that's in the back, sometimes we don't have everything in there, so just do it again. Okay, but yay, we have Alice and Bob, a night of sustainable dining and virtual reality fun in Boston. Wow, I would like to do that.
Yeah, I wanna
What's the
try.
name of our event? Because last time I didn't remember what it was called. Scroll up a little bit. Scroll up all the way, sorry. Okay, Alice and Bob's Boston Adventure. Okay, naming conventions, okay. Okay, and we can see here's that second part, right? It gave us like, here's the suggested invite message, and then we have to confirm this plan. And once we confirm that, it'll post it to our app.
Should I?
Okay, so it looks like that's live, so let's go ahead and click on the home page. Let's refresh. Oh, maybe it was taking another second.
Yay.
Yay, there we go. Okay, hey Bob, dinner at the Woods Hill Pier for Woods Hill Pier 4, then VR games at Key to Amaze on June 7th. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yay, Alice posted to Bob. That's awesome. And then, where's our event? Let's refresh.
No.
One more time? Maybe the log is still creating it.
You got it?
Somebody got it.
Yay.
Yes, I promise it works. We've done this before. Yes. Okay. Okay, so if this happens, this happened to me last night. So if this happens, just do it again. Go to Introvert Ally, fill out the form, do the same thing,
You wanna try
run it again. Yeah, you can try.
You can try it again.
Yeah, it's weird because the post posted, but not the event.
Maybe
so.
we can only take to Alice.
No, it shouldn't affect it. Sometimes it just, yeah.
Let's try Sunday.
Sunday, let's see.
Boston again.
Yes, sure, let's do. Let's see. Maybe this time we leave it longer on the final log.
Oh.
See? No raw output available. Maybe on Sunday there's nothing to do in Boston. Who believes that? Okay, so let's try one more time.
You want to still invite Alice and Bob?
No, let's just, yeah.
Yeah?
Let's just,
Or Saturday?
yeah, we can do the same event. We just want the event to appear on the side. So this is the fun part of doing things live, y'all. that sometimes you just need to do it again. But it's pretty cool because it does work. You know, we got a few folks that it's working for, and if you do it a few times, it does work.
Yeah, you can also see the agent is doing the social profile agent to analyze. So we start to do the social listening of Alice and Bob, and then to do the planning. And once it constructs a JSON object with the plan detail, and it says, hey, this is the result. So it's gonna reflect here. Oh, now it's an AI tag.
Oh.
It's a tasty vegetarian food.
Yeah, it heard us talking smack maybe. So
Yeah.
let's see, confirm.
Wanna
the
confirm?
plan.
What's the name of it? Alice and Bob's ANVR night out. This sounds fun.
That sounds fun. It does sound fun. These sound like fun events.
Yeah, I want to try AIVR.
Let's see, maybe we wait until the log is complete this time. I think I might have jumped the gun last time.
Sure.
Okay, oh, here we go. It says go to home page.
Okay. Yay!
Yay, there it is! Woo! So we have our post and the event. And if you click on the event, it'll show you that it's in Boston. A day from now, a night of intellectual fun and immersive virtual reality, right? Which is in the description of the event. Alice and
Yay.
Bob. And actually, it's pretty cool. If you scroll down and click on Alice or Bob, it brings you to their page and it shows you their posts. Great. Okay, who got posts, events? Yay. Okay,
Yay.
awesome. Okay. I promise you, this is the last step. It's going to be amazing. This is actually a really cool part, right? So like I mentioned before, the cool part of using Agent Engine is that you can have the observability information. So go ahead and open up. You can click this link and go to Traces, or if you're in the console, you can just look up Trace Explorer. Great, and then select the Trace Explorer, yeah. Span name, open up span name. Oh,
Is that Trace Explorer?
yeah. Scroll up, scroll down.
Should I refresh?
Yeah, refresh it. This is weird. The traceability is not there for some reason. 5 minutes? Oh, okay. Okay. Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize it's 5:22. We're having so much fun. Okay, it's gonna take about 5 minutes for this to show up, but I think y'all can check that on your own. But it's really cool because you can see what took the longest, what took a shorter amount of time, and then identify like what parts you might want to tweak a little or change. Yeah. Okay. So that is it. Congratulations, everybody.
Yay.
You did a great job. You did a great job. Oh, thank you. Wow, what a nice person. Before you go, last thing. Go to the cleanup. You have $5 credits, right? Our spanner instance costs about $1 a day. So if you want to use your credits later, they'll last for up to a year. You can just delete your spanner instance, and then if you want to keep playing with this, you can redeploy it, because otherwise your money will be gone in like 4 days. So you can either do that, or you can do the full cleanup, or if you want to, you can also delete the entire project. Okay, so just make sure you do the cleanup so there's no surprises later that your money's all gone. Okay, and now we're gonna do a quiz. Okay, we're gonna do a little quiz.
Christina's laptop?
No, you can, here, go to, so pull out your phones. Everybody in the other rooms, pull out your phones as well. Yes, go to goo.gle. Are we not? We're not?
We spend it all in New York, man. New York's a pricey town. Thank you for loving us.
Okay. Oh, no. Quiz.com, someone asked me, it's a free platform, okay? So you can go to quiz.com and make a quiz if you want. All right, go ahead and scan the QR code and join.
Mr. Tooley, Anchor, Random Boy.
Don't spend too much time editing your icons, okay?
Pretty sea parrot.
Do you want to read the questions? No? Okay. Quick nut. These names are very interesting, right? Very interesting names. Yes, it randomly assigns you a name and, yeah, interesting ones. Yeah, everybody.
Prizes.
Do you want to?
Pinoak. People in Pinoak.
Do you want to read the questions?
Can they scan the code?
I think they're doing it. Yeah, if you win, there'll be 3 winners. If you win and you're in another room, come find us at the reception, okay?
People in Pinoak, you're my favorite, so make sure you're winning this, all right? Awesome.
What?
I've been spending like all my time over there.
You see? Yeah, everything is rigged.
Bouncy space.
Okay, we have 110. I think we're going to start it. Lego.
Blue giant.
Lego.
We have more.
Freak cactus. One darky.
If you haven't joined by now, I don't know what to tell you.
GK.
Why there's someone?
We lost a person. Where'd they go?
Alexander.
Okay, this is a knowledge and speed thing, okay? So the faster you answer, the more points you'll get. Okay, we're stuck at 112, so let's go.
Quiz.com. Play and create.
We can use the what to run our agent as a standalone Python application, completely independent of the dev UI.
We can use what?
Agent. Hurry up.
Bushin joined.
Runner.
The runner, yes. Good job, folks.
Cool girl joined.
Cool girl, I'm sorry. Oh, a little late. The last question is double points, though, so. Okay, let's see. Clueless.
Solves problem of needing custom integrations for every AI app plus data source combo by providing a universal interface.
So, universal interface. Remember, we talked about this? It's like a universal adapter. Look at all these acronyms.
model context protocol.
Yes, very good. Remember, we made the server, list tool, call tool. I love that the hint comes later. I love that. I'm not sure why that happens. Okay, let's see. Unlucky Fire, Sister House, Mama Boat. At the top. All right. Freak Nut coming in close.
Standardized way for distributed agents, potentially on different machines/services.
To interact reliably. Open standard.
Agent to agent.
Yes, agent to agent. Well named. Easy to remember.
It's going to be the hardest question coming up.
Yeah, I think the hardest question is coming.
Hardest question coming up. Get ready.
Unlucky Fire and Mama Boat sticking at the top there.
Final question.
Okay.
Double points.
What were your instructors' name today?
Our other teammate Chloe, who couldn't be here today, made this lovely photo for us. Oh, shout out to Chloe.
I didn't know she changed it.
Debbie and Danny.
Yes, Debbie and Annie. Good job, everybody. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Drum roll.
Third place. Danish cookie.
Third place, Danish cookie.
Second place. Unlucky Fire.
Second place, Unlucky Fire.
The winner is Sir Queen.
Sir Queen. Sir Queen, are you in the other room?
We have a.
Who's Sir Queen? Raise your hand. Is it the green shirt? Can they hear me? Sir?
You need to use
Sir Queen? Is this on? Okay, it is.
We
Okay,
have
green
our
shirt.
winner in here.
Yay! Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, come find me to get your prizes. Thank you all. I'm sorry we went over time. Really appreciate you being here. We hope you learned something. Thank you to Christina for writing this awesome lab. Yes. Awesome. And thank you to all of our TAs. All right, go get some food.